So there we go. It's always something. And we're picking back up where this party of travelers going on along with the standard caravan that goes to and fro from Meletus to Akros a couple times a week. This is your first time, of course, on that 2-day ride, and on the tail end of that second day, you all were just starting to, because there's a number of other people and satyrs and humans, mostly a few Leon in here sprinkled in there, who are traveling to Akros for the games. And what we know about Akros is that that society, those people are very homogeneous. They really try to keep to not allowing outsiders in unless they are respecting their prowess or their skills that they would like to learn from. But during the month that I always forget, if you go in on the fourth month of the calendar, which is essentially stamped to April, we're on the tail end of that month. And so going into May, there will be the the games of Iroas. And those games are dedicated to multiple gods, but in particularly to mainly to Iroas, the god of victory, and they are the biggest spectacle put on throughout the land. Now, right now, the games, they are just doing their preliminary like tryouts for the games that are going to happen next month. You guys have just arrived around that time. Along your journey, the party met an old man, an old merchant who they bought some things from, and then they came across these uh, a returned one who had made it back from the underworld, wearing that gold mask with that ashen gray skin and no facial features other than a mouth, with 3 arrows sticking out of his back. He died before he could really die. Before the party, Apodexis took his head, and after claiming it, took the mask. And then then several others showed up like this one, to looking for him, looking for the heretic. You were all able to wipe them out, and that kind of created that first fight that created a bond between this party as they all fought very, fought with great valor together. They collected the mask, they collected anything else that they found, and they made their way into Akros right before the gates would close, right around sunset. And as they entered, they left the old man. They didn't see him. He asked to buy the mask. Apodex did sell it to him, and the old man went about his way, saying he would keep his little merchant cart outside, and he would enter a little bit later. That's everything thus far. We've all kind of initially met our characters and kind of why they're traveling, and so it's still early in that evening as they're walking through not empty streets, but actually I would say like towards the center of Akros, around the around the arena. There is a great hustle and bustle of people still going to and fro, even though the sun is down. But I will also add, let me go ahead and share this with you. Not seeing my screen. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Sharing very slowly. Hopefully you guys see the... Do you guys see the map? No. Let's try this. Okay. Now do you guys see this map? This map of the city? Okay. So this is instead of having you all get an invite, you already have your invite to Legend Keeper. I just created another map, but this will allow you to, if you ever want to reference this, I can pull it up and you can tell me where places you want to go. Right now, you guys are just like passing the front gates. Now, Proxinos knows this place very well. And the way to kind of picture this city, it is kind of the what do you call them? The halls and the buildings are kind of stacked on top of each other, a lot of ionic columns. And the structure where you see this over in this area where you see those clouds, that is pretty much a sheer cliff where the The entire city is built into the side of the mountain. Up above towards the north is the Caliphon that is known as, it's where it's raised even on another kind of platform. So that road there goes up to, you can kind of see that the palaces and the structures there on the hill beyond, and the beautiful stars and the nebula beyond you. It's a beautiful night. It's fresh air. It's not cold. It's just right. And you can see those, torches, both magical, but more natural functional torches lining the streets as people go to and forth in togas. There is a common color of kind of that red or burgundy-ish, darker red, deep red, and white everywhere you go, kind of establishing the color scheme of the society. And as you pass through the front gates, I won't say exactly where, but somewhere right around here, there is a huge Titan-sized statue of a great soldier posing, that you almost like standing on two great columns where you almost walk between the soldiers' legs, heading deeper into the city. So I just kind of want to give you that. I'll go back to this, but I'll say, like, for now, there's like the marketplace, there's like the training grounds, there's the temple and the arenas, there's like taverns and things like that, and inns and stables, and there's even a forge. So there's some things to explore, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Let's see. Any questions about any of that before we get started? Okay. And so we open tonight's scene with what I kind of just described, and you all there in the streets, and probably all starting to talk or think about where to go to settle down for the night, whether you're actually going to settle down or not. But as you're looking around, suddenly one of the, as you're, this city is heavily fortified, so it is very common to see guards going to and fro, like everywhere, and wearing their huge, immaculate, golden breastplates or bronze breastplates, and their long flowing red capes with crests on the top that, and one of them turns, noticing one of the party, does a double take, looks. Is that you? That's it. Oh. Proxinos, nobleman Proxinos. And he waits to see if Proxinos turns or acknowledges the sound of someone saying his name.
Slowly turning around. I don't know how much of a nobleman I still am.
He walks over to you, looks at you deeply. My boy, I want to say, by the gods, it is good to see you. You could be arrested for just being out here. But you know what? Your mother would probably love to see you. And you recognize him as one of the older lectoi, probably like head of one of the guards in the district that you're in right now. Maybe someone of stature, but not too high, not too low, who goes by the name Basila. And Basila tells you, listen, why don't I escort you to your villa, your mother's villa? I'm sure she'd want to see you.
I was planning on heading there.
Good.
I appreciate your concern. I finally got the strength to come back.
Good. Hopefully you're still getting enough sleep. You're still sleeping like 18 hours a day. What is it now?
Unfortunately, I still have that.
Well, stick close to me. keep those bright blue of your eyes of yours to the ground, and let's go. Are these and the rest of the group, the caravan, have kind of, as they've entered the city, people have kind of gone their separate ways. A few people have shaken you guys' hands, like thanking you for what you've done. Most of the people being pretty poor that are coming to the city didn't have much, but even a few of you probably got palmed a few copper pieces. So, and they kind of sped it off. So it's now kind of in this walkway that goes multiple directions into the city. There's one main path that leads to where Basila will take you. He goes, it's just kind of all of you standing. He goes, friends of yours?
They helped when the caravan was raided.
All right. Well, if they helped you, I've always liked you, lad. You're still young, got a lot of fight in you. Then why don't they come to? Your father is still out at one of the outposts. There's been it's been an upsurge in monsters in the area. And he kind of starts to talk and ramble on. What he's saying at that point is just kind of filler. And as you are all kind of making your way, as you can see here, making your way, you arrive at this grand. You can tell that as you move towards this area, it's quieter even in this early in the evening, right around 6, 7. All the hustle and bustle that's going on down in the city, people preparing for the trials, that's all kind of died out. The torches are lit. There's a nice little fountain going with a statue of one of the old great heroes. And there is the House of Kristos, the house that Proxino was raised in. Probably many memories kind of come back to him as he arrives. Is there anything you guys are sharing as you're kind of just making your way, just briefly, because you're about to be there? But
I think I would try to get Apodex's attention, but in a subtle way.
Yeah, Apodex would... Yeah, he'd walk over.
Yeah. I wanted to let you know, it might not have been a wise move to sell that mask to that person. He was more than he appeared.
You think I should try and get the mask back?
I don't know what it would mean, but well, I think he tricked you, but I don't know what the importance of it is.
Perhaps there's a temple of Erebos somewhere here that maybe I could contact him and ask what to do next. Idea.
Yeah. And after all, we do have the other masks laying there. I was very confused by everything that happened, but glad that we made it through together.
And while Apodexis and Pythias are having this back and forth, Basila the guard, who's brought you for the grounds, kind of stops and runs up and talks to a couple of the guards, and they kind of both nod. He rushes inside, his cloak billowing. And as you guys are still talking, there kind of moments later, kind of cutting you off abruptly, a female figure, a silhouette, stands in the doorway looking down on her son, Proxinos, who has returned. She's wearing a red kind of flowing garment. And she starts to kind of run down the steps with her hands outreached, a couple beautiful sapphire rings on her hand, her hair kind of bundled up, wearing a similar wreath to the way he is on his head. My son. How does Proxinos respond?
Mother, as he embraces his mother.
Nice. And as... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I'm so glad to see you again.
And as he says that everyone else who's kind of standing there looking on, that statue where the water is, the Acroian soldier kind of turns its hoplite head and looks down on you all, and everyone notices, everyone sees it, and it says, "I am watching. Prove yourselves." The mouth doesn't move. You just hear those voices, and the eyes kind of flicker for a moment, and then it goes back to as though it didn't move before. Can I get an insight check from everyone? And they're now you don't actually need it, Proxinos. Everyone but you.
Okay.
You're too busy clutching your mother, and
Right.
your mother just says, "My boy, I missed you. Gone 5 years and only 16 years of age. How much you must have seen in such a short time. Come, your father's not here, so shouldn't have to worry. Let's get you washed and a good meal for you." And she looks down and goes, "Your friends?"
Yes, they've helped me when the caravan was being raided. And I also promised a home meal fitting for Akros.
Would you like to prepare? Or I could have the servants get that going for you.
No, I would like to.
You haven't changed. Well, come with. And so as she does that, the rest of you who are kind of, what do we got on in insight?
Apodexis did it. Nobody, not a lot of other people.
What'd you get, Apodexis?
19.
Okay.
Zen was also very close.
Yeah.
Okay. So strangely, what would you get, Zen?
I got a 17.
Okay. So what I'm going to say is that, like, Zen, whether everyone else knows, if you got over a 10, you probably got the feeling of Iroas. Whether you know much about him or not, you know you're being talked to by the god of victory. You've seen his statue a couple places here in the city, in addition to others. It's not like, but his more. And you know that you're being watched. And so that, the bounty, any piety that you got from the first session is from him. Except Apodexis, you feel something very different. You feel like you were being shunned when the statue talked to you, and nothing came from him for you. You felt very much shut out by his gaze, if that means anything. And as that, before we open our story further, is there anything else that Proxino says to his mother as they walk inside?
Quick DM question. What happened to the 2 horses?
Oh, you guys should have the 2 horses, yes. So I will put them there, and they would have. You could either have them housed here at the normally you would take, regular people would take their horses to the stables, but of course you have your own private stables on site at the villa, so they will take your horses for you.
Also, the second horse, Proxinos named Minimus, so I have Maximus and Minimus.
Maximus and Minimus, I like it. And so the horses are being taken away, and everyone is walking inside preparing to be welcomed. And at that, we kind of fade to, I won't play it all the time, but since Eric's our first time officially having the full party here, our full opening for THEROS once more. Should be sound.
I'm living in that 21st century, doing something mean to it. Do it better than anybody you ever seen do it. Screams from the haters, got a nice ring to it. I guess every superhero need his theme music. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking, I just count the hours. Stop tripping, I'm tripping off the power. is closed, the prison's open. We ain't got nothing to lose. Everybody, we rollin'. Everybody, we rollin'. With some light-skinned girls and some Kelly Rollins. In this white man world, we the ones chosen. So good night, cool world. I see you in the morning. I see you in the morning. This is way too much. I need a moment. No one man should have all that power. The clock's ticking. I just count the hours. Stop tripping. I'm tripping off the power. Till then, that the world's ours.
Alrighty, so welcome to our second episode. I know that I just realized that played super choppy since I didn't click. I think I didn't click the thing that makes it smoother. But we are back. I've moved the party over into a little space inside. It's not that well lit, so but it will do for now inside of the Proxinos villa, inside the House of Kristos. Actually, this will work better. And while there, a little time has passed. We'll say that, we've had a chance for, I'll turn over maybe, Proxinos, what did you, we'll skip ahead to where you've cooked this delectable meal. What did you make for your party? But I will open that. You guys are all in this kind of grand hall with columns around you. And there's some seating areas, mostly on the floor around a fire pit that's kind of burning brightly and keeping you warm. It's open to the night sky, fresh air kind of pouring through, almost like a patio of a type. Artemisia, the Proxino's mother, has just returned with him, and she's starting to serve out the food. So what's being served?
So out of the simples or the stovetop oven, or like the oven, there is rye bread that's being taken out, as well as it looked like some sort of cookies of some sort for later for dessert. And on the other side of the table, there is greens that are being mixed. A big piece of cheese is being placed into each of the plates with looks like a concoction, some kind of dressing is being poured on there for each of the salads. Over by a open fire, there seems to be some sort of big chunk of meat that is just on there roasting.
Like it. Making me hungry.
Proximus lets out a big yawn. Better serve this fast. As he brings it out to the dining table, seeing everyone there.
And as you all are starting to, before you feast, the mother kind of takes a moment. She's looking at you. She's been talking to you, kind of catching up and stuff, and she looks and she kind of pulls you up a bit before, like Proxinos, from before you kind of lay down on one of the big plushy pillows and things that are laid all around. And she goes, this is willed by the gods for you to be here. Just today, a man came to speak to the House of Kristos. He said that he had a message or a vision. I almost had him turned away, but something, my boy, told me to speak with him. And this is why I know this is divine will, because just moments before bringing him into our chambers, here you arrive, unannounced. stranger, or she says, bring in the stranger, and then Basila kind of through one of the archways kind of pulls back the drapery that's hanging there, and a gentleman walks up beside her. There's something about him that is definitely gives off an interesting feeling, not an aura or anything, but for the most part, he does look like a normal man. Eric, what do we see before us? Who do we see before us?
So after Proxinos' mother speaks, you see a tall gentleman walk in, and his clothes aren't nothing flashy by any means, but he is tall. He's just wearing leather, and you see kind of a light bluish, grayish cloak over. That you can see there's a hood part; it's lowered, and he, solid face, completely clean shaven, but this like mane of hair as well. That it just stands out. Very striking. Very blue eyes, and but something that stands out is that he's holding this staff. And the whole staff itself looks very simple, but at the end there's a crystal on it, and you see him look at the whole party, and then all of a sudden he stops and focuses on Proxinos. I trust you are Proxinos.
Yes. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. And you are?
Pleasure's all mine. Forgive me, my name is Asteros.
I'm coming. She leads you all to go sit down together, and within seconds, Asteros is now sitting amongst all of you, where you are all dining and having dinner. Turn it over to you all.
Come on. Take a bite. It's not going to go anywhere.
Astros doesn't even hesitate. He immediately goes over and starts grabbing the food and putting it on his plate. And immediately starts eating. That is good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dex just looks at Astros, and he kind of, he like, it's like a low growl almost, like, he goes, that is a lovely mane, not as beautiful as mine, but.
Astros looks at him while he's chewing, and then he swallows, and then he speaks in Leonine, and he's all, I admire your, what weapons do you have on you? I admire your bow, or whatever. Yeah. Even better. He looks back at the crowd, or the rest of the group. He looks at the satyr and speaks in Sylvan. What's your name?
Which one?
Helmut's staring directly at this.
Oh, that's right. There you go. Well, both of you.
Oh my gosh, hi, my name is Fitz. It's so nice to meet you. You seem so mysterious. I can't wait to learn more about you.
Mysterious? I'm well, okay. That's the impression I give off.
He seems to be
you're a strange hooded figure who was here coincidentally when we were here. Just very mysterious.
You notice my hood. Okay, yeah. I haven't. Hey, forgive me. I realized I was speaking in Sylvain, and the rest of you weren't in the conversation. I guess that is rude technically, but
the young satyr is right. Just chiming in. Proxinos' mom is like, yes, he had a word, he had a vision about my son, and no sooner than meeting him do you all show up. So I'd say yes, he is quite mysterious, and I think we should. I feel like, and you get the feeling that not people. I don't even think you can call it superstition because people know the gods are real, but some people are just definitely more. If they pretty much live their life by the omens and that they get, and I think that Proxinos' mom is very much kind of moved that way right now. And while she doesn't really quite understand it, she feels like this guy this gentleman is divinely needs to be here. And so she just kind of chimes in. I think that you should continue to follow Proxinos until we both understand why you came here.
Thank you, my lady. Yes, I should get to the point. You're probably all wondering. He looks over at Proxinos and says, "Well, I do not know where this message came from exactly. I serve the cosmos. I serve time, the natural order of things. I believe all of us do, whether we know it or not. Whether we serve one deity or all of them, or we fluctuate, whatever. But I've been hearing, I receive visions every now and then, and recently let's just say I've been having dreams, and your name has been, and this city, the name of the city and your name has come up repeatedly. And when once is enough, but when it's continuous, well, one should not ignore that prompting from the gods."
I see.
But I'll be honest, I did not know you were 16, was it, when I got here? Until I met your mother.
He is still a baby, considered a full-grown man here. But I think the part of me that married into this society still sees him as such.
Speaking of which, how is my brother?
Your brother is, well, he has become more confident with your not being around. He is, from what I hear, on his way. Got a message recently that he is on his way back. He should be here by morning. I would not fault you if you'd like to be gone before he arrives.
No, I came here not just to see you, Mother, but to see my brother and even Father, as problematic as that might be.
Unfortunately, you may not see your father on this visit. He may be done with his business, but he's visiting several of the outposts, moving outpost to outpost right now to make sure that they have everything they need with the Lectoi, and he's moving with a group of Lucos. If anything that I ever kind of say you have more, you either in character want to ask about it, you can, or out of character, you can stop and ask about it. But instead of like lore dumping out, we'll kind of just keep going.
Okay. Proxinos has been out of the loop for a while, so just taking in what the norm of the situation is now.
Yeah. It's, you understand the many of the Stritions who are military who protect the surrounding area. Your father typically goes out with his higher, more elite level, the Lucos Wolves, higher status of soldier, and visits those outposts to make sure that they have everything they need. There's been an upsurge in monsters coming from Scophos, Minotaurs. She looks over, kind of like, no offense, at the metal one sitting in the room.
His ears actually perk up at the mention.
But nothing that is out of the ordinary, just a little bit higher for this season. But we shouldn't worry. What are you all here doing in the city? What will you all be doing tomorrow when the dawn breaks? Your friends are not talkative, Proxinos. They're very quiet. I understand you. Sorry. Yes, little one.
Just hanging out with my buds. We're all just great pals now.
How long have you known my son?
Gosh, it's been so long, like a day and a half.
She's a lively one. I like that. I like this one.
Well, I knew you'd be special to have so many drawn to you. I'm proud.
Well rested too, really well rested.
It Proximos just does like a as Fitz like drowns him out over like her spastus. Yes.
Yeah, my spastic nature, yes.
Got a spastic colon.
Well, sorry for being so quiet. I just thought it seems like family matters take precedence, and I didn't want to intrude. But yes, I'd like to see the city. I think this is a unique opportunity for many of us to visit and see anything here.
It might have been 5 years ago, but not much changes around the capital.
Well, I haven't been here 5 years ago, and if nothing has changed, it's still a surprise to me.
So this entire time, Taroxes has not actually eaten a single bite of food. Instead, anyone who's been paying attention has watched him systematically with a hand axe chop each piece of food into increasingly smaller pieces. And so finally, at the end of this process, each single bit of food has been chopped into the smallest piece that he can conceivably chop. And once that is finally done and over with, he looks around and realizes that there are people here, and he was just so involved in this task that he zoned out from the rest of that, except for the Minotaur part. And so he looks up in response to the question that he remembers. We are here for the games, to win glory. And once that is over, lady, I want to meet your husband and kill Minotaurs.
Well, yes. He would probably jump at your enthusiasm to do so. I'm sure as soon as he gets over your form itself, but you should meet him. Hopefully he will actually be back before you all leave. But let me let you know this. As long as you stay, if you are with my boy, you have a place to rest, you lay your head. That is until my husband returns, which I'm sure things will unfortunately be a little different then.
I was crafted to kill the inferior flesh forms of those like me.
Then
The spawn of Mogus.
This entire time, as THEROS was, first very talkative and very forthright a little bit. Even though he's been listening and looking around at everyone, he keeps repeatedly looking back at Proxenos, just curious, like he's trying to read him.
And what you see is a smallish guy with red hair, with the kind of like the gold leaflet on his head, with wearing a toga, sipping some kind of juice or something from his cup. And every time he goes back and takes a swig, his eyes start to get like more and more like closed, like he is drifting off.
Literally drinking himself to sleep.
So Proxenos is starting to fall asleep. And that's actually a good moment where Proxenos' mom, Artemisia, says, well, as long as you're all rested, I'm going to turn in for the evening. But you all stay up and enjoy yourself. And I'll kind of take that as my cue to kind of start to transition over to the day. But as I do, continue to role play if there's any final thoughts or, things that the party says to each other.
Oh, before we end dinner, and he grabs another plate that's like on the other side, and it has like this kind of like cloth over it, and puts it in the middle. And revealing over the cloth is the cookies, mint berry cookies.
These look delicious. He grabs two.
Ooh.
Roxy's reaches out and grabs one, and then begins dicing it into ever smaller pieces.
Epidexis spears one with a claw and just smells wonderful.
Thank you. I would gladly show you all around Akros. And as he's finished saying Akros, he face plants into the table. He has started sleeping.
And
If there's a couch, I'm jumping on it. Literally.
there's definitely plenty of them lying
Should we
around.
put him in a more comfortable position?
Let's do
Seems
that.
fine.
Yes.
And so you guys all adjust Proxino so that he is comfortable, and the night passes on. Maybe some of you stay up and continue to talk. Maybe some of you turn in early. Fitz jumped on and found her a nice comfy couch to rest.
I was like jumping on it, like to jump on the bed.
Oh, she's literally just jumping on it. Okay.
I'm jumping on it.
And so kind of we just kind of on her jumping kind of pan towards the stars, and as the Nyx across the sky moves, and that veil transitions to day as Heliot and his spear kind of move across the sky, bringing the sun to shine once again. In that morning, you all wake up and you're greeted to such great delights, similar to delicacy, similar to what you got the night before, but like kind of like breakfast versions of those. People tend to kind of nod and respect you. And as Taraxis constantly is chopping up his food, and you all meet like in a hall where through the entrance where you would start off for the day. One of the servants, a serf woman there, gives you a rolled up a map of the town and kind of points out where everything is. Not that you necessarily need it because you have Proxinos with you, but just in case for anyone. And you all get one of those. This is where I turn over to you to say where you guys plan on going here in the day. And I can definitely pull the map back up, but some of you might already have your ideas and set, but what do you guys want to do?
So Taraxis goes over to Zen and asks, "Do you also seek the games, my friend?"
Well, I don't know what they are, but if it involves running, yes, very much so.
I do believe they must have running competitions.
The entire time Zin has been standing around, he's actually trotting in place. He hates standing still.
He's just moving around constantly.
Yes, constantly. Like
Constantly clop, 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 clop throughout the halls of the villa.
And
And
tell me,
Epidexis is just like looking at his feet, like
Back and forth, like
I too would like to participate in the games, but I believe I must find the merchant. I may have made a mistake by selling the mask.
well, if what we have heard is to be believed, then these tryouts are for many days yet. Telman, Pythias, do you have any interest? I know Telman will fight with me, but Pythias, do you seek glory?
Absolutely. I have no idea what the games consist of, but
so the lady who handed out the maps overhears you and says, I'm sorry, actually, tryouts are today, but if like the the lion man says, if you're looking for the merchants, the market is definitely open, and will definitely be a bustle going on there. Um, the people entering the games tryouts do start today, but go on for the next few days. So you could go today or whenever you'd like. As well as anything else that if there's anything else that you may be looking for, but those are definitely two options, and both are towards the center of the town, towards where the arena is held. Oh, you were asking the Triton. Never seen one of you before, but welcome from the sea. The games that are being played are multiple. There are the chariot races, there's the 1,000-meter swim, the 1,000-meter dash, the long jump. There are discus and javelin throwing, as well as boxing and wrestling. Those that do boxing and wrestling sometimes enter the more brutal sport that we call the pancreation.
Oh, yes. Xanatos taught me the art of Pancration himself. I look forward to breaking those I come across. Not permanently. They hope.
There you are. And so she just let you know the games that are available. The marketplace over there's also places to get food if you're looking for that, but it sounds like you guys have just got a good belly of everything that Proxinos has given you. What do you guys think?
Let's hurry and secure our uniforms. Will you be making those yourself, or should we buy them in the market?
Oh,
I was going to get the materials from the market and making them.
So this is out of character, but I just imagine what Proxinos makes. You know, the Rock's Under Armour gear with that just big Brahma bull on it. I just imagine like Proxinos is gonna make a bunch of sashes with the Brahma bull on it. That just entered my mind, and I was like, "That's the coolest thing I can imagine."
So when you guys enter the arena, now you know the music I'm gonna have to play.
Oh God, no! Oh.
Peroxys is just gonna flex and.
Oh wow!
Oh man.
Yeah, that's all Teroxys is thinking. Like the gears are literally turning as he plans the most efficient route to the tryouts.
So is so we'd be going to the market to get the materials. And so as the party is heading down the staircase, two soldiers are arriving, or a soldier arrives, flanked by two others, and he looks quite different. He stands out. He's young, he's handsome, and he kind of has a similar look to Proxinos. The difference is that Proxinos' hair is good, both while their hair is kind of bundled. Proxinos, if I'm not mistaken, your hair is blonde, right? Or am I wrong?
It's a redhead.
Oh, it's red. So it's reddish hair. This gentleman's hair is like platinum, like white. And he has a breastplate that is probably painted and adorned in gold. That is white. His tassels are white. His cape is still red. But you can tell that like there is a fanciful nature to arrogance to, because you can tell that the people of Akros are not like the people of Melitus. So there's a idea of uniformity everywhere you go. But this young man walks up with a different kind of stance and stature, with his hand on the pommel of his gladius, and his head kind of turns a slight smirk when he sees Proxinos. Proxinos knows this to be for sure his brother.
I just want to say, in complete contrast to Proxinos's barely like no armor, wooden sword and wooden shield.
Yep. His sword is kind of glittered. Everything just kind of glistens in the sun as it bathes across his face. And with his boyish smile, he kind of smiles at his brother. What a surprise. I didn't plan to see you, brother.
I am a bit surprised. I didn't know when I would muster up the courage to come back, but I'm here. How are you doing?
I'm good. I am on the path to becoming the head of the house, as you know, as you understand. My fighting skills have only increased quite superb. I single-handedly killed a fleece-maiden lion just a few morrows ago, right? And he looks at the right boys, and the two hoplites beside him just kind of nod like, yes, all by myself.
Asteros in the back kind of walks up to, I don't know who's next to him, Pythus, and just whispers, well, he may be strong, but he isn't chosen by the gods, unlike his brother.
Well, he seems to boast enough. Perhaps we can learn more without even prompting.
He walks up and he puts his hands on Proxino's shoulders, kind of gives him a little shake. Oh, my long lost 5 years gone older brother. Come here, give me a hug. And he kind of pulls you in, braces you close. And the grip is just a little too tight for comfort. And then he lets go, looks at you in your eyes, and goes, it is truly good to see you. Are you going to be joining us for the games?
I planned on it. I'm actually going to the market right now and getting some proper uniforms I'm going to be making for some of my compatriots here that have helped me on my way.
He begins to eye you all up. And he pulls his gladius sword and he starts to kind of do a little dance, striking out at the air. And then he kind of stops, and the blade is like the last stroke is like towards Proxino's, but not like to the throat, but like right above where his eye line is. Brings the blade back.
So Apodexus jumps right next to Proximus and just roars right in his face, just full.
Can you give me an intimidation check?
And
all right. And he holds his composure, but while the blade is there, it was very firm. When he hears the roar, it blows his white hair back. And then you see if you like look closely, Apodexus can see that his hand is trembling. And the trembling puts the sword away and he goes, well, I look forward to seeing you all there. And you, sir, should stop by one of our taverns for some of our freshly cut mint, for the breath, of course.
Take that under advisement.
And
when he roars, Fitz definitely passes out.
And then he looks over and Fitz's leg is like kicking for a second. She's over on the side. This is the first time you guys have seen her do this. How do you guys react?
I do. Asteros
That was me
laughing.
laughing, not Pythias. Sorry.
Asteros laughs.
Yes. I would actually run over, if I saw her fall over, I'd actually run over and try and check that she's okay.
Excuse me. And Proxinus goes over to Fitz And
Out.
Good seeing you, brother. Toodaloo. Come, men. And then Medios marches off. Mother, I'm home, and disappears into the darkness.
As he walks off, Taroxys blows a jet of steam out of his nostrils. Not enough to hurt, but just enough to muss up the hair.
Okay. And so at this point, with that happening, it kind of throws him off. He kind of staggers up the steps and he gathers himself. He looks back at, at the bull, at Taroxys. And he just kind of gives him a weird look, whatever Taroxys takes from it. But you could tell that kind of carrying off of being a little intimidated, that intimidation from Apodexis is definitely, it's transferred to you now. And he realizes that whatever show of whatever he's doing here, he should probably move on. And then he carries on into the house. But he definitely noticed both of your forms of intimidation. And with that, you all kind of carry on and start to head towards the marketplace. I'm not taking a break necessarily, but just doing a quick changeover. So feel free to, if you needed to make a quick break, or if you guys want to continue to role play, I'm just going to change a couple things and then we'll pick up on the marketplace.
Yeah. Proxenos slipped his like cover on his shield over and and put it like the pillow and put it underneath Fitz's head.
And left her lying on the ground? Okay.
Is the leg twitching normal?
How long do these fits go with Fitz typically?
I hadn't thought about that part. Probably if someone tried to like wake her up, she'd wake up.
She'd wake up. Okay.
Yeah. Just like a momentary like panic, almost like a possum playing dead kind of thing.
Oh, if that's the case, then Apodexis is gonna like prowl around, just kind of like paw at you.
And then she'd probably wake up like in a jolt. Like, oh my gosh.
I'm sorry.
I'm just a little jumpy. That was embarrassing. And then she's gonna get up. Thanks.
Is everything all right?
That roar just kind of struck fear into my heart, and I just didn't know. All of me just kind of seized, and then next thing it kind of happens. Yeah.
You could just walk it off. You just walk it off.
Asteris reaches in his pocket and pulls out this little vine of grapes. He goes, Fitz, and just chucks it to her, the whole bush to her. Bushel.
She like bobs it a little bit and then catches it.
That'll help. Shall we? Your brother is...
shall.
Well,
Proxenos,
interesting.
There's laundry in your house. It must be difficult keeping all that blood out of that white boy's armor. Is that you?
And I don't know who is in charge of the laundry. I am a bit surprised, me and my brother again after all this time.
He should treat you better. Although I do have to say, I love the look of the shaking hand of a human.
And your mother was certainly right that he appears much more confident without you in the house.
Confidence, a word. I can think of others. Forgive me, Proxenos.
Untaken. Last time we spoke, he was quite disappointed with me as his brother, but I guess I'm not surprised how things turned out over the years, if that's the case.
Proxinos, should we face your brother in combat, any of us, Pythias, Telmun, Apodexis, or I, do we have your blessing to break him? Or would you prefer that he go home in one piece?
And with a strained face, he says, if you do, I can always heal him. But I think that what's needed is for me to face him.
For you to defeat him in the games, yes. That will prove you are the stronger.
Toroxys, we can break him a little for Proxenos.
You speak well, Apodexis. Apodexo, Apodo.
And
Apo.
And so you've all kind of arrived as you're talking in the street square where there are stalls everywhere. There are hustle and bustle. There are kids running around, darting through you all. There are people carrying, baskets full of loaves of bread and fruits. And there are people, stalls where people are killing chickens, and there are people selling wares of delightful, medals and trinkets. If you're looking for that, there are setups where people are selling weapons and adventuring gear. There's every now and then trumpets go off, and a voice is projected out magically as though it's some kind of like a speaker, like new fighters or those entering the games report to, and then they kind of name off a section of the arena for them to go to. And those voices kind of drone on and on. And then you see a section as you guys are approaching where a ton of people are selling cloth, just beautiful cloth and leather and different things. And there's a strange whiff of meat in the air as you hear a little scruffy middle-aged man going out. He's behind like a little crude wooden street stall, and with a lot of caged chickens kind of flipping around him, and he's crying out, "Fortunes, fortunes, read your fortune for 5 silver. Results guaranteed. Results guaranteed. Read just, and he's just doing his thing in addition. And so there you are in the market. What do you guys do?
Heading straight to the fine cloths and leather, looking over the wares and seeing what the best material would be for these uniforms.
There under an awning as you read your fortunes. Come on. And with like a bloody hand, he reaches out to try to grab one of you guys' cloths. It almost grabs Astros. Come on, you don't want your fortune read? And then you guys carry on.
Astros actually stops and looks at him just for a moment.
Oh.
And I just like, sure, read my fortune.
5 silver. His little grubby hands go out.
Doesn't even break eye contact with him, reaches his pocket and gives him 8.
Yes. And then so after he take it, he quickly goes in a nasty nasty manner. He guts this chicken and spills the entrails all over this little table, and he starts looking through them, little giblets and things, and he spreads them out.
Now, was that necessary?
You saw the way, and he's clearly with his bloody hands. This is how I do this here. Do you want this?
Well, let's see.
Apodexis is just looking at this like, this
I'll sell the chicken leftovers for the lion man there for another 1 silver. And then he says,
Didn't he already overpay you?
Hey, you guys I didn't even get to the part where I tell you what your fortune.
Go on. I'm fascinated by this.
We're all on the edge of our proverbial seats.
Proxenos has already left
Yeah,
and is
right.
getting the material.
And so
Theros-
Proxinos, you're over there with this little middle-aged woman, and you're like, she's working, you and her are working, and you're getting the proper like cuts of material. And this guy just pretty much goes, okay, he just rushes through it. He goes, you'll soon become involved with one of the gods. When you do, don't act impulsively. Consider your choices carefully, or you may regret it. That's what I got.
Asteros kind of looks at him for a moment, and is Proxima still in vision? Is
He's in an earshot. Yeah, he's probably 40 feet away.
He looks over at the at Proximus. You see that red-headed young man over there?
Yes.
Anything? Can you sense anything about him? What do these entrails say?
They say exactly what I just told you, that you'll all, including him, will be involved with one of the gods soon, and you should probably.
So it's all of us.
All of you.
Oh.
Yeah, just getting a general sense of this whole group. Handsome group, of course. Well, I'm gonna move over to the other side, and he starts to like lock up his stuff and like slide the entrails into like a little bucket, and he like grabs some of his chickens and they like hang like on the edge of the cart.
We'll take those entrails.
Yes.
Correct, my Leonine friend.
He had slid them into a little bag, and he just brings up the bag. He's like,
I think he's hungry, and we don't want to deny him his hunger.
He hands the bag over slowly to the Leonine.
Yeah.
Dex just reaches in and he goes, and he spears another with a talon, and he goes, Asteros, I believe I've got a hang of it. We shall enter into games and be victorious.
All right, then.
Will you pay me silver now? Is that the way?
Asteros looks back at the gentleman and he says, he did a better fortune.
You'll see.
Let's go.
Taraxis, Talmon.
My fortunes are real.
Almost already with you. He's just acting as a model for the materials.
T-posing.
My new friends.
So
to me, there's nothing more pathetic.
So what colors are we deciding on, young man? She's talking to Proxinos. She's kind of going over Telmoon, measuring him. So bull, we want bull embroidery. Okay. Not a problem.
Looking over at Taraxis, what's the color again of his skin?
Oh, it's straight bronze. It's like actual bronze.
He actually looks like, he actually is made of metal.
Okay,
he's not like
So it's going to be the icon of a bronze bull.
Yeah, you can actually. I will. Is he more like a? Do you see him, Taraxis, as like a? Is it like a liquid metal the way he moves, or is it more of like that intricate, like you can even see the seams in his design?
It's seamless. It's
okay.
as he moves as if it were skin. So it's not quite molten, but you can't see any seams. I'm not saying there aren't seams, but they're built in a way that it's not visible.
He's Colossus from X-Men.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there are gears inside, and that'll play into him later with one of his abilities. There's a lot more than meets what there is currently, but from visual inspection, he is just Colossus. Yeah.
Okay. So getting the icon of a bronze bull on there, and then do we have a good red kind of color for the outer, you have some sort of.
Do you know what police and city state you're in, young man? Of course, we have plenty of red. And she just starts pulling out all the different reds, dark reds, light reds, whichever. You got plenty of the color you want.
And Taraxis leans down to Proxenos. Red and saffron, a saffron yellow, like the lava in a forge. Yes, that would be great. Does she have that?
And that whispering is so loud that she just hears that.
Yeah, she hears it. She's like, and she quickly produces the color that lava red. So this color for all 8 of you?
Yeah.
right.
He leans back into Proximo because Taroxys is only talking to Proximos. Yes, tell her those will do fine.
So these are uniforms for the games, yes?
Yes.
So all of you are participating. What do you? I'm just being a bit nosy since people are. I see Fitz shaking her head, or their little horns going back and forth. So
I'll be cheering from the stands, but I just want everyone to know who I'm cheering for. We just want to feel very much unified, like a team, you know?
yeah. Would you like then? Would you like a full uniform, or I could just make you a souvenir like shirt to wear in the stands with all their names on the back, and the bull on the front.
I came to the Eroan Games, and all I got was this lousy shirt.
Like those lanyards that you get, and you just put those buttons on them, all the little pins. I want yellow pins of everyone. The lanyard, please. And a foam finger. Oh, could I get a foam finger, please?
Foam finger. Can you tell me what you're looking for? And as you describe it, she's like, yeah. And she basically makes she starts to draw on a piece of leather, and she pretty much is gonna make a mitt, like a number 1 mitt, and she can stitch it all the way around where you can hold it up like that.
So that I could do finger guns, the ultimate finger guns, and have 2 of them. I want that. Everyone should know that I'm associated with these fine people here. They're really proud of that.
Are these guns you speak of something that comes from the rebels? I've heard of the Satyr. Is this from the lands you come from?
It's yes. Let's go with that. Yes.
All right. Excellent. I will get these done for you. Okay. It's gonna be 1. I'm just gonna 1 gold piece for all of you. That's just 8, and I'll get you all set up. This is going to take me some time. I'll probably take all of the workers. She has a few people in the back kind of sewing and stitching. We're just finishing up another project. I think we can get it done in, I'd say give us, if I'm doing really good, I could probably get this done unrushed in about 6 hours. But
and
at the most, give us 12.
And Proximos says, I mean no offense, but I would also like to work on this as well.
Oh, then by all means, would you like to be here to work on these?
Yes.
I've never had anyone that paid to actually say they want to work on it. Well, then that way, you know what? I feel bad, and I'll just make it 4 gold pieces since you're going to be here working with us. I mean, my staff needs to help to get this done in such a quick time.
And Proximos pays the 4 gold. And he turns to the rest of you and says, I'll have this ready as soon as possible.
Nice. Well, hopefully while you're waiting, you can see some of our mini taverns. You can still continue to shop and find some of the best weaponry. A lot of merchants are coming from all around THEROS. So if you're looking for it, you might get lucky and find it here. Or, if you're looking for good mead, depending on if you're looking for other stuff, it's all here right now. In addition, I'd say while you are waiting on your uniforms, tryouts, you don't need your uniforms to try out, so you could also do that as well. Or you could wait and definitely go in into your tryouts in style.
I do have one question. I'm looking for a merchant named Itanis.
Itanis. The merchants that come through here, many of the merchants that are out here today are just because we're having the Iroan Games, which means that they're not repeat visitors. And just I am one of the regulars, I'm always here throughout the year. But this Itanis, I've never heard of.
By the way, at this point, Proximos is already taken fabric and stuff and went into the back room. And yeah.
Do you want to make a performance check to see how the first round of things are starting to go for you?
Also, I am proficient with the loom, so I can add my proficiency there.
Yes, you can.
Does it have to be performance, or could it be sleight of hand? Or
sleight of hand? Yeah, you typically do that with I can do sleight of hand with sewing and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, and so that's 18.
18. Okay. So Proxinos is just working, and you can notice that as he's like laying things out, some of the other men and women who are behind the cart, are working with him. He's like already starting to kind of direct people, and you can tell that it's just going to shave some time off of getting those things ready by at least maybe an hour or two. If he stays with it like this, at this rate though, he might pass out when he's done. But he's full blown going right now. I haven't, for some of you I haven't heard from. Tell Moon or Zen. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Pythias even. How are you guys feeling right now?
Someone's excited. He's finally getting the team together. He's seeing the uniforms going. Getting ready to pump up his boy Taroxys. He didn't know he was participating in the games, but since Taroxys seems that he wants him to, he's not going to disappoint.
Sounds like it's not a question of whether you want to. You're just gonna.
Hillman must show the results of his training.
Well,
are you constantly wet or are you dry?
I prefer to be wet. I think I'll be uncomfortable if I'm not.
Do you have like a canteen or something like you constantly like pour onto you?
I don't know if I constantly pour onto it. I definitely
do
carry
pour
more
on
canteens than a normal person.
Or like those neck bandanas that stay wet for dogs. You put that to keep you like cool.
And I'd say like there was the statue that had the pool of water outside your house. As we were leaving, I probably splashed myself from the water.
All right.
I would say that while we're waiting in this fabric shop, Fitz is taking like the corners of two different fabrics and just like tying them together. Just like working her way through the shop absent-mindedly.
And then Zen was up to something too.
Yeah, so this is the first time Zen's ever been in the city. So he's kind of like a kid in Disneyland, just doesn't know what to do right now, just staring at everything because it's packed full of people, like cart to cart, like and he's also probably one of the biggest characters here besides Roxy's. He's probably
you do also from time to time see others that look like you, so you do see other Leonin in passing, kind of going to and fro. Just letting you know that it's not all humans because of the games. It's definitely an uptick in other.
Is there a weapon shop though?
Right out of like if you look over, you see right down like 60 feet away, you see a cart selling blades splayed out next to gear and stuff like that.
Do this place have spears by hand?
Spears right behind the guy, like on a little rack.
He's gonna trot up to the cart and face him, and in place keep trotting a little bit, and go, excuse me, sir. I've never actually done this before. I would like to purchase one of those.
Yes, which spear fits your fancy? He starts kind of go through. This one's made of the nice bronze. We've got a nice. This one a little bit more expensive, but quality. Probably not going to bend on you and when you need it. And he just kind of we're going on and on, but it's probably like a good rack of 12 spears. Not really different, other than cosmetic. And you might even be able to decide on the spear that you're looking for in terms of the way it looks.
Actually, depending on like the wood that is being used, that was used to make the spear. He's looking at that.
Is there certain wood you're looking for?
Yeah, strong enough, but also flexible enough. Very much like a traditional Shaolin spear, where if like it hits the ground, it actually can bend.
It can bend a bit. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Can you give me an investigation check to see if you? I know that doesn't make sense. It's either there, it's not. But like as you're looking over, see if you find it, see if you spot it.
Or do you have any bamboo?
Yeah, it's a flat 10.
It's a flat 10. Okay. And so you see one spear and you ask to look over it, and as you kind of you hold it, you realize like the wood, it has that flexible nature. It's not exactly what you're looking for, but it's probably the best one
There, yeah.
there that suits for it. And he goes, "What do you think?" And it has like a little tassel on the end, like a little green. Um, but yeah, it kind of fits the bill. What do you?
He just starts to like
I'll let you go. I'll let
uses
that
his
one go
body.
for two pieces of gold.
He kind of uses his body to like make a circle so people aren't around him, and he starts twirling it around his torso and acting it out. How much was this
Whoa,
for?
whoa, whoa, whoa! And he kind of looks. No, no using the watch out. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You're gonna get me in trouble. You're swinging that around like that. Your hooves going everywhere. But 3 gold.
Trust me, if I wanted to hurt someone, it's not hard. I'm pretty good with this thing. Um, 3 gold. Um, it's into his pouch. Think that's enough?
Sure.
And yeah, he gives him exactly 3 gold.
As this is happening, as you're making the transition, you suddenly hear like an uptick in like the crowd's kind of like in this little agora in this area, it's kind of open area in the marketplace. A bunch of people kind of move out of the way, like oh, and they all as quickly as they seem shocked by whatever's happening, they quickly respond in stern and start gathering in a circle around something happening. And you can hear it seems to be like everyone is paying attention to a man, and he is making a big commotion. Seems to be like talking to himself like, oh no, please, please, no, I don't know what to do, please leave me, just please leave me be. I'm not sure what to. I hear you, but I also hear you too. As he's running through the crowd, and as the crowd kind of parts for a second, all of you, even with with Zen down, like talking to the merchant, Proxinos behind the cart, you see a man in a light blue robe, kind of seems to be like clutching his ears as though he's being assaulted by the senses. And it's a beautiful day, and the sun is overhead. And what you all quickly notice is that as he's running uh, through the agora, there are these as he's running through like under one of the over or like the awnings where the pillars are, when the sun hits him, you could tell that the sun is shining on him in a strange way. The light is bending in a way where it seems to wherever there is no shadow, it is trying to get to him. And then wherever there is shadow, like when he passes a pillar or drops under an awning, the shadows seem to reach out and try to like snatch at him. And he quickly like stops standing under the sun away from the shadows, but even feeling like he's being assaulted by the sun itself. I don't know what to do. And as he runs, he bumps into Zen, boom, and he into like the rear half of you and falls on the ground. Older little man. He gets up, he goes, I need someone's help. Can you help me? Please.
What's wrong? I'm new to town, so I don't know how much help I can be.
I know that man. And he looks over and he sees Proxinos behind the. You're from one of the houses. I can tell you're noble. And he kind of looks. And he's still talking to Zen and maybe looking at Proxinos. Maybe not. Can you talk to me for a second?
I can talk to you while working.
Oh, okay. And he kind of comes over and he stands outside. You're under the awning. He stands like right outside of it, like out of fear, like looking at the shadows. I am Ochesius.
Ochesius?
Yes, I don't know why, but I think I've been chosen. I think I'm an oracle now. The problem is, I think I'm an oracle of both Heliot and Erebos. And he starts to kind of have tears in his eyes, and he's like, I have a son, And this is the part where you can tell why he kind of looking at you, Proxinos, because he can tell you're part of the Lectoi, at least the higher order. And he goes, my son Alejandros is a warrior. He's stationed at an outpost between Phobos and Akros right now. And late last night, I had a vision. And he pretty much starts to talk about this vision that he had. And he goes, in this vision, in one vision, I see my son die a hero's death. The outpost itself is assaulted. And he dies a hero's death, but the outpost holds and all there survive. And then within an hour, I have another darker vision where my son dies. The outpost front is assaulted, but everyone else lives and survives. So in the vision where my son lives and everyone else dies at the outpost, Erebos has given me this vision. The god of the sun, Heliot, has given me a vision where the outpost holds, but my son dies. And both gods are forcing and asking me to make a decision and to devote myself to one of them, knowing that one of these visions, as horrible either way, is going to play out. What should I do?
Apodectus walks over, still carrying the bag of entrails and still like munching on them.
Just popping little gizzards and stuff. Yeah.
Perhaps we can figure this out. He looks at Astros. Shall I predict something for him as well?
Look her out first. Keep eating. Carry on. This is interesting. Does he?
So-
Oh yeah, I was saying DM. So can I try to read him? Does he look like he's is he delusional? Does he really believe it? Like, what do I like? Is there a way I can read him?
That's a good. You want to give me a insight check?
I was about to say we did watch him approach with the literal shadows.
You
grabbing
saw
him.
that.
That's right. We did see that.
Sunbeam.
Okay, so actually I wouldn't do that. Yeah, you're right. If I did see that, I would not do that.
Mhm.
Okay, that's fair. Yes, this is is the light still coming? Do we look
At
up?
this
Do we
point,
see it?
the light kind of it feels like in the section that you're standing and talk to him, every now and then the shadows or the light moves in a way that it shouldn't. Like sometimes the light will push the shadows back to where it shouldn't be able to, and sometimes the shadows move in a way that they stretch outwards towards the light and where they shouldn't be able to based on the objects around you. But you're not seeing anything sinister, whereas you did kind of see a couple of, when he was running, a couple of the shadows kind of swiped at him, almost like they had hands. Now remember, like they're still along the ground, like the shadows were along the ground, but the light bended in ways where sometimes he'd run out of an awning and the light would move under there and then retract. So it's definitely some divine nature going on with this guy.
Two gods giving contradicting visions is not unheard of, but not common either.
Proxena. So this man, Ochesius, is looking at Proxenos, and Proxenos looks back at him, and he
Probably
says,
only because you kind of look like someone from the house, and since it's regarding his own son who's on the front lines here. But this can be, anyone can be a part of this. You're all part of the group, so don't think that only Proxinos can jump in here.
Then Apodexis would just kind of look at him and go, I'm new to these gods, but we Leonin know that the nature of things are important, and perhaps one should look at what's best for all, despite what may happen to the one. But as I said, I am new to the gods and their ways.
And so
And he
in
just
the,
shoves some more of the intestines in his mouth.
and so in the vision where the son is the only one that dies, the man believes strongly that that is Heliod's vision, where the place stands and all is well, but he dies a hero's death. And then there's the vision where he survives and holds it, the outpost falls. He's the only one that makes it out.
I'll move a step forward. It seems like there's only one choice where your son keeps his honor. Why is this so difficult for you?
What do you mean?
Would you rather him die a hero or live a failure?
And then
Proximo stops working for a second and then looks at Talmon. And he says, there is people that would choose that path, Talmon.
And then Taroxys kind of like awkwardly moves into Proxenos' workspace. Is a little cramped with everyone around. And then he'll lean down to whisper to Proxenos again. Ask the man if he has considered perhaps option 3. He could choose one that is not of the options he has been presented. He could take up smithing in the mountains and go to Perforos, who is strong enough to defend him and his son from Erebos and Heliod, or even out to sea to Thassa's domain. Either of these other gods is as powerful and as primal as these two warring brothers. Perhaps the choice is not as binary as it is presented.
And I
I
imagine
had this
even though
thought
he's
as well.
whispering, the man hears it like completely. He looks up and he goes, if I leave everything behind. I'd have to take my entire family there. But I cannot simply march to an outpost and take my son out of the ranks of the Lectois. Such would be such a dishonor that I would be either arrested or finished off myself. You understand that, right? He doesn't know your name, Proxenos, but he kind of looks to you like.
Honor only matters when consequences involved.
But the satyr makes a good point. Probably a point that I hadn't really been thinking about. He would die a hero's death. That is the Akroian way, right?
And as Proxenos continues working, he says, that is the Acronian way.
And Taroxys leans down to Proxenos once more, whispers, but perhaps that is the trap that has been laid by these feuding brothers. If he chooses one or the other, then one of the visions comes to pass. But if he chooses his own way, perhaps he disrupts the skein of destiny. If he chooses a third way, what's to say that the outpost will not fall and his son will not die?
I get a persuasion check from Taroxys.
Oh, it's terrible. But I will try it.
I assume this is like a stage whisper where you think you're whispering, but everybody hears.
Yeah, I just think he
Yes.
always thinks he's whispering, but it's just a very voice that.
Yeah, that's a 3.
Okay.
He's just spouting rhetorical nonsense.
I just rolled for the man, and whatever he rolled is what you needed to be. And... Sorry, Pythias.
I had this thought as well. But if there's a third choice, then surely there's a fourth. Tempting fate in this way might also lead to a worse outcome for everyone.
What do you suggest?
We've got a lovely theological debate rolling in the Agora.
I feel like we should be in. This is not the type of conversation I expected in Akros.
Yeah, this should be in
course,
Miletus.
while this is happening, Proxinos is, steadily working on uniforms that are being made. Why would Heliod give me such a vision to lose my only son?
Maybe he wants you to emotionally prepare for it. She shouts from far away.
And I imagine she's like
she's
10
still
feet
like
away.
tying things.
She's like, maybe you're probably right. I think you've all convinced me. I wish there were other options, like the bull says, but I think that a good death is a soldier's death, and I will have to live with it. And kind of dials. He goes, Heliod, I will obey. These group, they have allowed me to hear your words. And he slowly starts creeping his hands up, whoever's closest, Apodexis, and maybe Telmoon, and a little bit lower. Thank you. He breaks his prayer, kind of wipes his tears. Thank you. Shakes your hands, and I am so sorry to disturb you. Thank you for helping get me on track, and I will be on my way. I'm so sorry for throwing off your day.
It's no worries.
And he saunters off back disappearing into the crowd, and another strange encounter in Akros.
Wow, I really was meant to meet all of you, not just you, Proxinos. I'm not going to say whether that was the right way or the wrong way.
I noticed that too, Apodexis. You going against your god a little bit right there.
Yeah. Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. That is true, though. It's just, even though people can be foreordained for something, there's still choice.
I imagine, Astros, that you deal with these conflicts all the time. Thinking of, if there is some prediction and you go against it as a part of the prediction, is what happens to us just what the gods decide? Or do we have some influence in our fate?
Positive side in me says what you said, that we may be destined or foreordained to do something great, or maybe not great. But in the end, we still have that free will. But then again, some would argue, what do all the gods know?
Podexus is just like shaking his head, and he's in utter and complete disarray. He doesn't quite understand. And he just looks at Astros and he goes, our pride is everything. Our family. In nature, that which is essential. Why do the gods play games with you?
Eternal question. I have my answers, but I'll save those for another time.
The gods' games are not all negative, Apodexis. My existence is due to the games of the gods, and the games of the gods make for the epics of mortals. Truly, this cycle benefits us both.
As long as the gods' wills and actions do not upset the balance and the order of things, I think all is fair game.
They seem as children with petty gripes and perhaps I'll just need to learn more of them.
If these deities are so great, greater than us, they seem to care a lot about us worthless mortals. I thought perhaps that tells us we mean more than we are led to believe. I could be wrong. Anyway, how's that going, Proxinos?
After finishing up another another seam.
And I'd say it's probably another which we don't play through in real time, but like he's Proxinos and his people are on point. That whole situation just happened. You guys have all been talking maybe for another hour. You're willing to let another couple hours go by, so he's almost done. What I would want to know when he is complete, what games is everyone will? Because I kind of have a feeling Taroxys has been chomping at the bit to get into the games, but like if other people are participating, if you're participating, what are you participating in? Is what I want to kind of know. So I just made a list. But yeah, you can also put it in the chat, but you can also let me know too as I read them. But like, let everybody know as well.
Chariot races.
Proxino's doing chariot races.
Are you going to be awake for that?
Literally asleep at the wheel.
The House Kristos, their icon is of the horse.
Of the horse.
So it makes sense that it would be the chariot races.
Bro, Zen could beat all the
like Troy, I was you about to.
I already knew for Taroxys. What's Telmoon? What's up, Telmoon?
I was wondering if Zen is participating as the horse or as the chariot rider in that one.
He counts as both.
It's pretty cool.
I think there are some rules against. There might be some rules for centaurs. If they allow it, he probably still has to. He has to run the cart on the back just to slow it to make it even.
Go ahead, get the biggest guy in the crowd to sit on the chariot. I'll still pull him.
Proxinos and Zen as a team in the chariot race.
Yes. I think they may allow that.
That would be something.
Hold on.
So yeah, I definitely know
probably
that
do the long jump for sure.
Long jump for Telmoon. Make notes of these.
You can guess what I want to do.
Yes. Anything else though, but just long jump. Okay.
I'll probably copy up my boy Apodexis. I'll try all that out. Wrestling's not exactly my forte, but I'm quick.
Dexter will definitely watch Pythias in the swim, but be far away from that tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe I'll do boxing instead of wrestling.
I guess the dash, that's dexterous, right?
That it is.
So
if anyone wants blood sports.
As Proxinos is finishing up the gear, it's getting later in the day. A few hours have definitely passed. You guys have spent a lot of your day in the market. He's slowly starting to hand them out one by one in a really cool, kind of awesome manner. You know, here's yours. And then lastly, there's the shiny glittered, I came and all I got was this shirt is over the fits.
Heck yeah.
It's got like little rhinestones on it.
Foam fingers?
Yeah, foam fingers and hands out. So she's standing there in front of you.
Out. Huge grin.
And so it's still early enough to get your tryouts out for the day. So you kind of slow motion start to march through the crowd towards the arena, where we will take a 5-minute break and come back.
That hurt me
with the game.
That hurt me. I just took psychic damage.
Why? Wait, what?
What happened?
Fully the Rock and Mankind.
Oh, because of the shirts, the Rock. Yeah, it's great.
I missed that.
I do.
We've
I do
also
miss-
got great
miss
gifts
that
in the
era.
Discord going if you're there.
Oh my.
Oh god, I
Yeah.
forgot about the
I
Discord.
gotta
I'll have,
Yeah,
I'll have to
I
go.
forgot
I'll have to go look at
Discord.
those later.
I gotta get on that.
Awesome. So yeah, 5 minutes. We'll get back to it.
Ooh, that's your own rock.
That's good.
All right. Right back. Oh my god, the Discord looks ridiculous.
I bet. This has been pretty good.
I'm actually surprised that we're like being so welcome in the city. The book describes it as a completely different thing.
Yeah. I mean, I was expecting to also get a lot of hate and
Dude, your little brother's
judgment.
a dick.
He is a
Which
dick.
is weird because I'm the littlest in my family and my older brothers are dicks. So seeing that dynamic was really weird.
My reaction
Zen or
to seeing
Troy?
his. Say again?
If
Is
you
it
know
Zen
the
or Troy?
story, it makes sense though because the way what Proxinos
yeah.
did to make him the little brother. You know, it's kind of like there's a dynamic there where he feels like the older brother for sure.
What'd you
But
say,
yeah,
Jake?
remember the reaction to the guy in the Gilfellian University, like all the students, and like, oh, I just hate this guy.
You just hate this guy. That face. Yep, I
He hasn't
hate
even
him.
spoken yet. No, I hate him. He's going down.
That's that face you just want to punch.
Yep.
Calvin is not going to do good in these events.
I'm kind of torn. Like, if it's allowed, I'm so down to be the chariot race, dude. You're just gonna have to hold on because we're going fucking fast.
I'll probably fall asleep on the wheel too. This is gonna be.
Just tie the reins around you. You don't need to control me. I got this.
Oh god, this will be good.
But definitely the 1,000-meter dash is my bread and butter. I don't know about long jump. Could be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough, man, because it's an athletics thing. And I'm not so good at that, but I am a merciful leaper, so I do add
Yeah, I
to all my
know.
jumps.
Yeah.
We'll just have to see.
I'm just hoping I'm small enough and have metal on my head that I can figure out the boxing thing.
Bop, weave,
Get 'em.
bop, weave.
Dude, so nobody wants the blood sports?
I mean, I
guess
could
this
do.
is
I don't
wrestling
know
with
how
you.
I would do in boxing. I really don't know how a centaur would do in boxing.
Well,
even though
that's
I'm
the
a
thing.
monk.
That he said there's wrestling and boxing, which are like more normal, but then there's pankration, which is heavy ancient Greek wrestling.
Yeah, no, I get it, man. No eye gouges, and
Yeah, it's
I
that
think that was
next
the only
level
rule.
shit.
No biting and eye gouges. I think it was.
Yeah, that's literally the only taboos.
Still
But
inefficient.
I'm wondering what the rules are because I'm wondering if it's cheating to use my giant's might.
Yeah, like I'm for sure going in with mage armor. Don't get it twisted.
Because
I'm not just boxing out here.
yeah, that's what I was mentioning earlier when I was talking about how he's set up. Is that giant smite? The way I'm going to work it in game is that Taroxys is built to expand. So when he uses Giant's Might, like the fold, like his body expands, like the gears click, his chest opens up and widens, his arms get larger, his legs get like he starts mechanically changing to literally
Buddy.
grow into his next form.
Transformers, robots.
Yeah,
in
he
disguise.
straight
That's
up
the
turns
goal.
into a transformer, but he just grows larger and wider.
When does that happen?
When I
Really?
use the Giant's Might ability.
Yeah, do you have that now?
Yeah,
Yeah, I have 2 charges of it.
Okay. So
it's
Yeah.
it's kind of like rage, in a way,
Mhm.
because you get like some of the benefits that you would with rage. You get like advantage on all strengths and checks.
Mhm.
What
Yeah.
level spells do large reduce?
Second? I
I
want to
think-
say it's a second level spell.
I think outside casting is cheating, though. I'm sure that'll actually be cheating.
Doesn't mean you can't try.
No, but okay, so I need one more level up. One more level up, I'll get an extra spell slot. We'll make that work.
I'll go huge, yeah, because
Yeah,
if you're smaller than large, you become large. I have advantage on strength and saving throws, and once on each of my turns, one of my attacks of the weapon or unarmed strike can deal an extra d6.
It's
So for my
nice.
unarmed strikes, that's 4 plus 1d6 plus 4. So it's like using a light weapon with X.
And if you enlarge his ass, oh my god.
2d6.
It'll be like using Veritas.
Ooh, I'm excited for these games. We're all
Again,
gonna
I
use
am not. I
Oh,
really
man.
was only going to do the long jump, and then fucking Taraxis was out here.
Yup.
Like, hey.
He voluntold you for more events.
Colin told you. I like it.
I knew I had to do at least one of the fighting events, or else I was going to get in trouble. So I was like, which again I did.
Yeah,
Like, my
proximate.
only key is not getting caught, and wrestling and fake racing require you to touch. And I'm like, let's go
Yeah,
boxing.
Nick.
I might get out of that.
I really want to fight Proxenos' brother in Pancration.
You'll break him in half.
That's the goal.
I had to I had to try that.
Oh man, I wish I had jumped in with the help action, but I didn't think about it until after the interaction had happened. That's why I blew the steam.
I was like, he's gonna be a dick, really? Okay, let's.
We got this. We got Proxenos' back.
I didn't want to kill your brother in your mother's house.
Because this is what I'm rolling the gift from one of my students. Like, so when you hear the thing, and that's what I rolled. I was like, yes.
Yeah, in D&D Beyond, I'm rolling the Theros dice.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to. Yeah, I should get those back on there.
Yeah, it's probably the dumbest $15 I've ever spent, but I got it anyway. I was like, $15 for a virtual set of dice. Whatever.
Fuck it.
It
One of
makes
the
you happy.
cooler
It was
ones.
not a bad choice.
Yeah.
No raggerts.
No regards. No ragrats. Yeah, no, this game's fun. I love Theros.
I'm still waiting to play the Magic. Look, I mean, my card deck is just sitting there, and I'm like,
Oof.
Same.
it's just waiting. And I'm like, when are we gonna do it?
Yeah, our first day in Akros, and we've already harassed a merchant out of the market. We've dealt with deep existential questions for some dude, and now we're gonna go beat people up and race very fast.
And we got the uniforms to look good.
Yes. Oh,
And we're
Tellman's
probably
gotta
gonna.
be so proud.
I'm guessing the one that took the most time was Zen's outfit.
I mean, depends. You just want to give me a shirt? Fast and simple.
I was about
You
to
want
say,
to deck out my whole fucking body? That's gonna take a minute.
bro, you've got
I
full
felt like you would
tabard
just get him
and
one of those
barding.
one of those horse blankets. It's fine, right? It'll be cool.
I bet Fitz's actually took the longest because hers is straight up like a bedazzled everything, like glitter shininess.
That is the best shirt in all of Akros.
Yep.
The tourist T-shirt and the foam fingers. I'm just gonna be in the audience, like yeah.
Yeah, no, in my head as I'm imagining this all, this is so cool.
And you're giving like bardic inspirations as you're like in the stand.
You
That-
could
I was
legit
planning-
inspire us during the game.
I
Yeah.
didn't know if it would be okay if I did it during the game because it lasts for like 10 minutes or a minute or something. It lasts
do it-
for a
do
while.
it
Meet
right
us in the
before.
back real quick. It'll work.
I don't
Yeah,
think
right.
bardic
Yeah.
inspiration is actually cheating. That's just literally inspiring.
So should we have
yeah.
her? Should we have her use it anytime we're
We just took a
competing
long
against
rest.
his brother?
I mean,
That's the only time we are using it to kill the brother.
Not to
Anytime we're against
kill,
the brother.
only to maim.
To maim.
Only-
Then it doesn't matter
only
what
have
I do,
three.
he'll bring him back.
Are those back on a long or a short rest?
A long rest, but we just rested at his mama's house,
Yeah.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm fresh.
You're all good. All good to go.
Thank
Yeah,
God.
we're all good.
You guys.
And I have one.
We can't fight.
That's fine. You don't have to win. You just have to compete.
I think I also have one inspiration point from last game that I'm saving for a clutch moment. I've got it marked
So-
on my character sheet. I never remember it, but if it's there, then I'm sure he gave it to me somewhere.
I think I gave you inspiration last battle.
Oh, yeah, that's
Mhm.
probably what it is. I do not have inspiration. I was just remembering the one Fitz gave me.
Psych.
Darn.
Use it while you got it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is going to be fun. Every single event is just going to be cool. And I'm sure Malcolm's going to make it like the unexpected things are going to happen. The wheel's going to break on Zen's chariot
God.
basket.
Oh,
Dude, that
man.
arena is sick.
Yeah.
Long jump is gonna have, like quicksand.
Somebody's going to literally break a leg
Ooh.
The
or
chariot
two.
straight up Ben Hur, dude.
Mm.
Oh,
With the spikes on the wheels.
oh.
We're about to die. Salute you.
This is going to be lit.
There's gonna be sharks in the underwater racing.
Sharks in the swim. Or like baby krakens.
Maybe krakens I can do. Sharks. Nope.
Maybe krakens are
Nope.
basically just squids.
Very aggressive squids.
True squid. All squids must die.
Oh,
So
Magic.
nobody did the discus.
No one did discus.
Oh,
I did say
have a
javelin.
1 in acrobatics. Or I have a 1 in athletics, guys. A 1. This is not going to be good.
You could always just roll really well.
It's true.
and then Fitz is going to accidentally wander into an event and participate by accident.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the discus, isn't it?
It's got to be the discus. And she'll
would.
accidentally win and then faint.
This seems very on brand for her. The fainting thing is so much fun.
So cool.
So Proximus thinks that you're actually like falling asleep like the condition he has, so that's why he put a pillow underneath your head.
Oh,
Oh, that's
Ah.
so nice of him.
a fellow narcoleptic.
All right.
One day they'll have to bond over it. We'll have to talk
It's just
about our.
the two of them
our
just asleep,
disorders.
like heads barely touching.
Together in the dream space.
My leg twitching.
I was so glad
Even
I
when
wasn't
you go to
drinking
sleep.
anything when you said that. Oh my god.
Oh god, give me a second. I gotta actually put these all together.
He's got to make rosters for each
Yeah.
event. Generate NPCs.
Who is like in each
Malcolm,
of
tell us the names of all the athletes.
No, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
They only care about one name. They only care about one.
I'm
And
sure.
then a paragraph of what brought them here to Akros and their life story and a training montage for each.
Welcome to the
I will-
Rose Games.
I'll be faster if you can do this. Tell me this as I run out as I roll out each game. Just tell me if you're participating in it. And I kind of know which people are doing what, but it will help. So chariot races. I know that's Proxinos, and is Proxino, if he can, is trying to enter that with Zen as his horse, or is Zen entering separately, or is Zen not doing that?
I will totally be down to be the guy that
His
pulls the
whole-
chariot for
Do
Proxima.
it.
So he'll try. So he'll be the horse.
Okay. That's Zen and Proxinos for the race, for the chariot races.
Look at the bright
Um,
side. If he falls asleep, you still got a driver.
And then
He just has to tie
for
the reins around. Not
the-
even reins at this point. It's just like ropes
He just rope tied to the
Yeah, like
chariot.
you're staying in the chariot. I'm just dragging it.
Oh man, who's doing any of the dashing, the running, the 1,000 meters?
Me
Okay, so that's Texas.
And Zen as well.
and Tillman.
Anything that has to do with running, yeah, Zen's in it.
Zen's in it as well.
What about swimming? Is Zen a good swimmer?
No.
So Apple and Zen in the 1,000 meter dash. Anyone else? Did I miss anyone? Okay. Then when we move to, actually that should be the dash. Then the swim. Are we anyone else swimming other than I know our Triton Pythias is going to do that? But actually, I shouldn't assume. But I think I heard you say that.
Yeah.
Telmoon, are you still doing the dash, or did you drop out of the dash?
Yeah, no, I'll still do the dash.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Oh,
Telmoon
did you
was
not
also
say
in
me?
the
Did you say
dash.
Apodexis twice?
No. So for the you're doing the dash as well. So tell Moon. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm
Sounds like
assuming
you said three
that
people.
being in the crowd for all of this, that Fitz will be able to chime in with her cheers depending on what she wants to try to do at those particular moments.
Exactly.
All right. So dash was Telmoon, Apo, and Zen. Okay. And then for the swimming, that was just
Pythias.
Just Pythias, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I'll do the dash. Why not?
Okay.
Why not? I feel a little. Proxinos,
Get
what
out
are you
there.
doing?
Chariot racing.
Ah, of course.
So then Asteros is in that as well. Pythias. Women. And then for the was there anyone in javelin or discus?
I actually said javelin.
Javelin, Pythias for javelin. And then so I sounds like, so are we going full Pancratian Taroxys?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Sounds like you wanted to go all three.
Yeah.
All the fighting.
So I think the way it'll work is, just to save us on time, is you pretty much, if you're trying to go all three, then you start with Pancratian just to get in, and then you can compete in all three if that makes sense. Because then pretty much you prove yourself in all forms, pretty much mixed martial arts. So you'll be doing that, and I think that's it.
I think
Long
Tillman
jump.
also doing long jump.
Oh, long jump. Yeah, how did I miss long jump? Let's see.
Yeah, Apodexis
Apodexis.
and Tillman went to do the long jump, and then
Where'd I put
I'm
the long-
perfectly fine dropping the boxing if that makes things go faster. Boxing was
Oh, are
over
you
there.
doing boxing as well? Okay.
And then I think Renee said he was going to do
Yeah.
wrestling.
But yeah, I can drop that if just to.
So we
just
could
try
drop
for
it if
time.
it'll save time.
If you guys are I'm going to do them as like skill checks and role playing with skill checks. So they're not going to be like full blown initiative rounds or things like that. So Apple and Telmoon
Tillman.
for boxing. Okay, and then the long jump, which I put out here.
Well, Tillman boxing, Apple wrestling.
Apple is wrestling. Okay, I'm sorry. Jeez, this is a lot.
That's what I'm saying. We can cut
I'm gonna
down.
get it. I'm gonna get it.
Don't worry, guys. Malcolm has all 30 competitors as well for each one of our sports.
And then so
I'm just
So,
gonna roll a
Apple
death
is
save, and if I
wrestling.
win, I win.
Telmoon is the boxer. Jeez Louise. And then the long jump is Telmoon as well. All right. Okay.
A little better than that.
Does anyone want to smile through the entire games? Because that could be really intimidating. Just throwing that out there.
No, I think I'm
I mean,
good.
I don't know if you really want Apodexis smiling at everybody. There's a lot.
Sounds
So
terrifying.
happy
and
to be
wonderful.
here. Yes.
So after signing up and getting all set up, going through all the registration process, you all end up walking into this huge arena. And the thing is, it's so large that every station for people kind of trying out is stationed in different parts, and then people up in the stands are going wild, to and fro, getting their food and sitting down with their bagels and their baguettes and stuff, and looking down at the crowd. And the people are starting to kind of cheer, and you guys are all walking in as a group, but heading to your separate stations. Now, Fitz is trying to find a good seat per se, and people are a bit like rude and pushy, and she's not used to like all this all these people, but then again, it is such a spectacle. I'm not sure if she's enjoying it. Kind of in a weird way, it's kind of like an extension of the revel. What's she up to as she's kind of finding her way, sitting down and stuff?
She's having a great time, and she's like that person who is carrying too much and is just trying to get over everybody in the stadium. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry. And her like hitting people with the foam fingers, like just obnoxious, and moving through trying to find like that ideal spot where she could see, like, I guess, would she be looking for one place where she can view every event that's going on? Is that
see
possible?
All of it, yeah. And she finds like the perfect spot to kind of see them all at a distance. And she kind of sits down, finds her place, and there are every now and then you see people using like magic. Somebody kind of is handing off food or like little bags of bread, and someone will like cast out, and like, or the guy selling it will like use mage hand to like deliver it down an aisle of 4, 5, 6 people. That'll deliver it to the person who's getting it, and it kind of drops in their lap. And suddenly there's an announcer who's like, thanks everyone for coming out to the Iroan Games. These people are all trying to try out and see if they've got what it takes. Today we're finding out if people can cut it and can cut the cake under the eyes of the all-powerful Iroas. And look, and we've just got a group walking in who just made the roster. They probably won't last too long, but everyone, there's a few that look a good little strange group of them. And together, all of you are I'll just ask you, like, go around, like, how are you walking into the arena?
What the rock is cooking.
And so the
Epidexis is walking in.
It's like, yeah, I'm walking in kind of. I do have the chest puffed out, but I'm also kind of wide-eyed, looking all around at the huge crowd. I've probably never been in a state definitely haven't been on the floor of a stadium looking up at all these people.
Proxenos is yawning.
Thanks.
Terox is usually very reserved and quiet, but now in the arena he seems to come alive, like stomping his feet, beating his chest, flexing his gigantic metal muscles.
Nice.
And breathing steam just everywhere, just clouds of steam.
So did we walk out of the steam at first?
I imagine he created like a decent amount of smoke. A bunch of the athletes are stretching and kind of going through. There's like lines standing. There's one section where they've pulled the boards back, and there's like a mini pool to swim where Pythias is kind of heading over as everyone's kind of finding their place, and you're all kind of getting ready. So I guess we'll start. We'll kind of do these kind of one at a time and figure out where we jump in. But I figure let's start with Telmoon with the long jump. As he comes over to the station, the guy's like, "Are you competing in this? Is it you? Sure. All right. Well, just run out there, jump as far as you can, and we'll record your time if you end up being one of the the highest recorded, you'll know by the end of the day. And
Record by time.
How long does it take you to get to the part where you have to jump?
so
Our
you're gonna-
sundial is very accurate.
Maybe you cast levitate and just like. set a
So you
record
can't
for
try
flying
to interfere with magic, but you have to let me know you're trying to do that, and I'll let you know what you need to do. So what?
I mean, technically, I'm a satyr, so technically, I
You
have
already
a
are-
merciful jump.
You have a
So
what?
I can add a merciful jump. I can add a D8 to the distance of any long jump that I make.
Yeah.
Oh, I should not have joined this against him.
So Apple's standing on the other side, like, here we go.
He's getting ready.
So what happens is when you both are competing, if your rolls beat each other, if whoever beats each other is kind of going to be higher in the standing. If you both beat the athlete who you're competing against, who you don't kind of know who they are, this other person that's standing on the side of you, if they beat you, then you both do not qualify. If you both beat the athlete, then you both qualify, and you'll go into the main game. So what I'm going to need from you is, so because of your feet, even though I know the way actually making a jump works is a little different, I'm gonna have, because I know you move your distance and you do all that stuff, but I'm gonna have you just give me your acrobatics. Then you're gonna give me an acrobatics roll, and then you're gonna give me an athletics roll right after it. But Telmoon is gonna add D8 to both of those.
Oh, okay. Let's do it. All right. So,
And
acrobatics.
Apodexis, though, you're Leonin, so you're also gonna do yours at advantage.
Nice.
There
you're
you
gonna
go.
Makes sense.
So give me make my rolls. I'll make my first roll for acrobatics. All right. What did you guys get?
Acrobatics was a 26.
Jeez. Okay. How about you, Apodex?
15.
So just running. So the 16 just edging. So do you run on all fours, or when you're
All
like
fours.
pulling? Yeah. So we're just watching this lionless Leonin as he gracefully, almost like starts to, manhandle the ground in this graceful manner. But you get out. I imagine Apodex as you get out of the gates like quickly, and you've got this thing going, but slowly but surely, the satyr's feet almost move like a road runner, like something out of a cartoon, as he starts to edge you out, and the long lanky male runner who is like ahead of like both of you slowly watches as you both just kind of outpace him, with Telmoon coming in as the winner, being put on the. So let me note that really quickly here. So you both beat out the athlete, so you both will be added to the long jump. We got, but with Telmoon in the top and Apple right behind him. And that will be for long jump. So how you guys feeling as you just like made the cut? All right, looking over, we just got some new athletes that have just scored some points there. Good for you. Now we're moving on over to, let's see what's going over at the little pond down where folks are swimming.
Those are my friends! Ah!
Like, if Apodexis can get there in time, he's like roaring as loud as he can.
And so
Like far away from the water.
And so Apodexis kind of runs over. Pythias is preparing to jump in and swim. I believe you see the person that you are. There's a couple of others, but pretty much I'll name the one person that is kind of the hot shit that you're going up against here, Pythias. That is
Fox's brother.
right.
Sorry.
I know it's good. You guys are having fun with it. Do it. So top contender for the swim is a half Triton. So this name Vidus, and Vidus walks up, and he kind of looks like human. He doesn't have the same kind of blue hue as you do. He's a little shorter. He's lean, but you see his gills are both kind of like around his neck and on his sides. But other than that, he looks like kind of this bronzed human who's been in the sun most of his life. Kind of looks over and gives you a wink, kind of gives you like, "Are you ready?" And the rest of the others who are just a bit timid newcomers are ready to hop in the pool and dive out. Anything from you, Pythias, before they give you the go?
I give him the upward nod.
Nice. And so suddenly as you nod, there is like a crackle of fireworks from like a thermatogy spell. Boom! And like you know at that point you need to leap in and swim. So for the swim, what I need from you are 3 successes. You need a certain amount of successes out of so I actually gave it away. So you're gonna give me 4 rolls. You're gonna give me, so starting off, give me athletics.
Okay. That is 17.
All right. So you dive in, you both, and you just like fire off, like you move away from him. And you're just, and how do you swim? What would you, well, how would you kind of describe the way you move through the water? Do you even need to paddle? Do you just kind of stay straight formed? Is it more feet? Anything there?
No, I still use the arms and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like it probably looks like it's having more effect because I have the webbed fingers and feet. But otherwise, kind of looking like someone who, like a regular human who would swim, just looking a little bit faster.
Nice. So now, as you're starting to outpace him and all the other swimmers that are there in the pool, he rolls his second. This is where I need your. This is the point where, like, kind of halfway through, where you start to feel your body kicking, and I need a Constitution check from you.
Check,
not a save.
That's actually the same, so that's fine.
Yeah.
That's not great. That's a 6.
A 6. So the other swimmer starts to kind of catch up with you, kind of moving through the water. You start to see him. He's kind of got his wings now. Whatever part of him that was human, the Triton is like fully kicking in. So you got your 1 success so far. Now, as you see him pulling in on you, I need. This is where you're using your athletics. You're using your Constitution. This is where the way you move nimbly comes in, and so I need an acrobatics check, and also maybe add, is there, if you want, any flair that you're doing to try to pull ahead. So I need an acrobatics check.
Okay. Oh man, that's a 3. So I feel like I probably look to the side and see him catching up and start to flub.
Yes. And what's crazy is, I shit you not, you both are tied on that particular roll. I rolled extremely low, so you both just kind of tie at this point. And so you start to move through the water, he starts to move through the water. So because the tie, I'm gonna count that as a success. So you 2 there. And as things start to, this is like, you two are just outpacing. This is it for all the marbles, and this is where you kind of have to like dig down deep. I'm gonna give you an option. You can use nature for this next roll, or wisdom, or you can sell me on something else if there's another. Whatever you would use to try to overcome in this moment.
Could I do intimidation if I catch his eye and try to like?
Ooh. He looks over at you. I will allow it.
Okay. Oh boy. 10.
10. Ooh. So he looks, and so with that look, what are you trying to convey? Like, I mean, what is that I know it's intimidation, but what does it look like?
I look to the side and I I give a smile with kind of the pointed fish teeth, but a kind of a grimace smile. I don't know how I can convey more than just like
it's
that
fierce
great moment. Yeah,
and he kind of gives you the same fishy, like toothy grin back. And because there were 4 checks that you guys have made so far, you're tied. This is the last check. And I'm going to call what it needs to be randomly. On a D4, out of all the checks you've made, it's going to need to be...
On charisma.
It's going to be athletics. That's going to do it.
That's fine. I will go to athletics. Oh, boy. That makes me much happier. That is a 23.
Jeez, okay, you like... And so you, after you guys give each other that grin, you kind of tuck your head, you go into full stealth, moving through that water, and boosh, as he comes out, like everyone looking out, fits, that Pythias is the first one out of the water. And you're so quick out of the water, like, you don't even like pull yourself out, you like jump out of the water and land.
Right.
Good, a success. Pythias is in the games for the swim. Let me record it. Feel free to roll. Also feel free to role play during this, like how you guys are doing and what you guys are. So the.
I'm just.
I will actually like. Yeah, I'll lean down and help him out of the water, and actually like smile and give him a pat on the back. Like
For every
Water
event, we're
respect.
doing the wave
Yeah.
as a group.
I would imagine that like Zen is getting like set up and Proxenos is like getting like checking the chariot out and hears like the cheers and stuff like that.
We go over to where the 1,000 meter dash is going on. And who was a part of that one? I'm going over there to find who I wrote down. So, yep, Zenos is ready. Okay, Telmoon is ready. Anyone else? Zappo, are you in that one too? Okay, so it's you 3. All right, so you 3 are squaring up against some other runners. All right, well, the Triton definitely proved his thing there, putting Vitus. We've never seen Vitus go out so quickly. He won't even qualify. Vitus is like, fuck. He kind of like walks away frustrated.
I'm in it too. I DM.
Astros, you're in it as well?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not my thing, but I was like, yeah, why not?
Yes, you did. You did. Okay. So with this one, you guys are going up against the top contender walks up and he's this big centaur, a little bit bigger than Zen, but lean enough to move. And you notice, are there distinguishable features that where you can spot a fairy's centaur?
Not really distinguishable. It's, well, actually, no, there is.
You don't have to like look it up, but I'm just wondering.
Lagonas are thicker.
Thicker, yeah.
Thicker. Okay. So this
They're
fairy's,
built for endurance, whereas the fairy are built for speed.
he's got this like long, like kind of beard. He's shaved, but he's got like this huge kind of jet black kind of mohawk. He kind of shakes it and moves back and forth like a mane, and it goes all the way down his back. He's like tatted all up, and he's like, "You ready for this, little one?" And then he kind of goes down the line, looking at the rest of your group. Race is. He's a fairy's name, Cosmanus, and he's preparing to run. So, all right, we are about to have our 1,000-meter dash and see who's the fastest outside of the water. And then, so there's another pow as it goes off. I need all of you that are participating to give me athletics as the first, as you're just using all of your power to start the race.
Malcolm, question.
Yes.
As I'm next to my friends we run, could I pat one of them on the shoulder and say, good luck, and then Gave him a guidance check, just one of them.
Yes. So what you have to do is, because there's there's these guys in like togas that are looking around that are like, they're like referees and they're like watching for magic, right? They're just like
right.
So, you
I guess my question is it noticeable? Is my question.
So basically what you gotta do is make
so-
an Arcana check against my well, you can make a so I'm gonna make a sleight of hand. You can do a sleight of hand. Is it a does it require, is it a spell that requires a hand movement or a gesture?
No, it's just a touch.
It's just a touch.
Yeah.
I'll still make it. I'll make it an advantage. You can get an advantage sleight of hand check.
It says VS, so yeah. Okay, yeah.
You want to go for it? If you fail, you'd probably be immediately disqualified.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you pass,
but would my friends be would my friend be disqualified? No.
Probably not. They don't know you guys are friends. Maybe. I mean, you don't know that, so I won't say you just don't know.
I'll wait. I think I'll wait for now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So you kind of reach out. You're about to touch him. And you're like, you see one of the referees watching. He's like a little satyr, and he's like.
Then he goes. Oh, yeah, with his hair, his mane. Yeah.
He kind of does one of these. Kind of like walks away, and the thing goes off. Athletics checks.
All right. I forgot my dice at home, so I'm gonna use D&D Beyond.
Yeah, sure. I'm not
17.
looking at it, so still call them out.
I got
17.
23.
15.
17.
So I got a 17 from Apo. What from Zen?
23.
23. And then what from Asteros?
15.
15. So Asteros, you are surprisingly fast as you are being outpaced by Apodexis, but like keeping up. Like, Apple, as you're kind of running, you look back and you're like, no human should be running like that, running that fast. And then you kind of look forward and you see Zen ahead of you. And then right behind Zen is him and the fairy centaur are ahead, neck and neck, but Zen is pulling ahead there. And completely winning right now, which is a good thing. And so as you guys are moving, that is when
No, I'm still in this race, right?
Oh, sorry, Talmoon. I forgot about little Talmoon. So, like, Talmoon, what'd you roll?
Win.
I rolled an 18.
I probably didn't hear. Okay, so you are beating Apo and Asteros. So out of nowhere, out of a little bit of dust, here we come with the little Roadrunner legs. Like Talmoon is like right. You are right behind the main guy, and right behind Zen. So you're right there third, holding it steadfast. This is when your Constitution kicks in. Constitution checks.
Just a check, huh?
So the fairies, he starts moving, and he's like, his heart's pumping. He got a 24.
I ain't gonna beat that.
You got a 24 on a con check?
Yes.
13. Yeah.
I got 17.
His con is a +3. He rolled a 19. So 23. Sorry, 22. 22. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. 22. So.
Wow. I saw that.
17 for Telmoon.
17.
Probably
okay.
a barbarian, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just saw
22.
Apodexis match that 22.
I saw that.
22.
Yep, I saw that.
All right. So Apple starts kind of pulling up. So a bunch of you guys. So the villain guys got one on you. Apple, you're starting to match him. So this brings you to the point where you like match against him. Zen is starting to like lose a little bit of ground. So now you're kind of all equaling out the line. Tell me, what'd you get?
I got a 17.
17.
Yeah,
so you're kind of dropping back a bit. So you guys are still overall been beating him, but this is when acrobatics kicks in.
Oh no.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, acrobatics, right.
Come on.
So this is the moment where you guys are running, where you're trying to like move, and you can also like describe this as if there's also any cheating that you're trying to pull out. This might be in there as well.
This is when the Theros, his studious side kicks in, and he rolls a 6.
Dirty 20.
Ooh,
Nice.
Okay. Dang, same.
Natural.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay, this
Way
is
to go.
crazy. The character roll, so dirty 20s all around, and then a nat 20 from from. So you meet it, you beat it. All of you pull ahead of the fairies, and just because of that's crazy. Everybody rolled dirty 20s, and then as you pull off, how do you win the race? And Telmoon and Apodexis, why don't you roll off acrobatics to see who comes in second
Actually,
and third?
I know this is just skill checks, but he's actually going to dig deeper and use one of his key points to just kick it into high gear and have all legs going. And his torso that's normally at an angle is fully like parallel charging head first.
Jeez. And so you guys are moving, and the fairy's like, as Asteros is kind of running out of steam, he's kind of like doing one of these. He's got his like hands on his hips, like, trying to breathe. The fairy's, he almost trips. He stumbles, and he like gets frustrated, and you can tell he like runs off course, goes a circle, kicks up a bunch of dust, and is just like screaming, cursing to the sky, to the gods as you guys cross. As Zen just crosses the finish line, blowing it out of the water. Good job. All three of you are in the games there and being recorded.
I like nudge the person next to me. I'm like, did you see that? I know them.
That was pretty cool, right?
Keep an eye on them. They're pretty great. They're really great.
Those are your friends?
Yeah.
Oh, they're awesome. I
You
like
were one of my snacks.
Oh.
I just like different.
What is the name of the team? I see you guys have bulls. Like, are you guys the Bulls? What are you guys?
You know, we haven't come up with a team name yet, but this is our logo. So keep your eye out for this, because pictures, they're better than words sometimes.
Asteros finally catches up to his three friends. Good job. And then you think he's gonna throw up for a second, but he gives him the thumbs up.
So I think Telmoon,
Asteros.
Apple, and Zen are going ahead to the races. Asteros is realizing he's not going to be in
No.
the
No.
Apodexis comes back and goes, I've experienced this. It's a furball. Just cough it out. And he just smacks him one in the back just to make sure it's.
Almost falls over from the sheer strength of the cat.
Is it possible to meet Proximus, like meet them out there as
Sure.
like congratulating?
Absolutely. You guys can complete and make this a role-playing thing. Like, it's like role-playing with some skill checks. So yeah, what's Proxinos doing is and that's cool because I can set up the next event while you're doing that. So
Do we have like a giant like flag with the symbol?
I don't think you have that yet, but you got your outfits.
You got the yeah.
At the real games, we're going balls.
Yeah.
To the wall.
Yeah.
I was definitely
We'll
jogging
sell
along with
some.
that. Just 1, 2, 3 with the bulls just going through it.
Well done, everybody. Zen,
Yeah,
how you holding up?
Oh, I'm ready again. Do you guys want to do that again? That was really fun. You guys are a lot faster than I thought.
Did you see the other one? He veered off.
Yeah, Fairy said that temper problem. He's just all talk though.
So if I'm not mistaken, we just have the javelins, and then we go into like the boxing and the wrestling, and then last but not least, the chariot races, and then we end the night. Are you guys good on time? Is everybody?
I'm
happy?
good on
Okay.
time.
So
Yes.
okay, we're gonna go a little over. We're probably gonna end around 9:30.
Yeah. Proximus looks to Astros, looking like he's about to cough up his insides, and looks like he's a bit busy at the moment.
Nice. They're calling everyone over to the javelin toss. Let's see if this Triton that just outpaced Venice has what it takes to take down the contender Alekos, who has outthrown everyone here today. Alekos is a female satyr, and she's got like 8-pack abs. She like kind of walks up. She's super lean. She kind of like kisses out to the crowd. Long mane of hair, brown hair down her back. Yeah, Telmoon's like, ooh. She brings up her javelin. And she looks over at you at the Triton. And she's like ready to throw. She kind of goes back into position. All right, we'll have them all throw at the same time just to, make it more suspenseful. And so you're going to give me. So this is going to be 2 checks. It's going to be so they're both based on strength. So it's going to be athletics and strength, just 2 separate rolls. Just one is athletics and one is strength. Carry through. And so 1 second to pull up her.
Not looking good.
I think you probably got her on this. So all right, so she's out. So and they're off. She throws, and as she throws, it's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and see what you roll.
Yeah, as I start to get to the throw, I think I have a twinge in the ankle, and I flub it because that's a 9.
Oh, and so it sails. We'll know by the second roll if it carries through. Hers is looking stronger. Like you can kind of tell the way you kind of came off your foot or off as your back, like the way the muscles kind of twisted. Second roll for pure strength. Let's see.
Okay. What is my strength? Okay. 11. And so as you watch it, they kind of meet up and you're like, ah, and then you watch yours start to drop and hers sail forward and lands. And she goes, yeah! And she like jumps up and she like kind of does one of these. The crowd starts to cheer. And then the lady next to Fitz is like, she's really good.
Oh yeah, that was kind of good, wasn't it? Don't tell my friend I said that.
She's like, yeah. And then she kind of comes over and she's like, good game.
Good game, yes. Very well done.
So Pythias will not go into the javelin toss, but will stay in the swim.
Pythias, how are you doing?
Doing great. This is great fun.
That is great. Here you go. And he gives you it looks like some kind of like herb or something like that. It's there to just help with muscle pains and stuff like that.
Nice.
Oh, thank you.
So
I gave some to Esteros. It looked like he needed a lot.
Appreciate it.
So we move across the field as we see that with these lead-weighted leather straps, Telmoon is wrapping them around his hands. Because you're in boxing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Your contender for boxing. Find him. Did I not?
Well, man, we can be a little more optimistic than that.
All right. So in walks as they kind of wait, you hear this kind of huffing, and out walks this lean but 7 foot tall minotaur. Wraps up, and Toroxy's this guy probably on the side looking like, I don't know what Toroxy. What do you tell him? How do you root for Telmoon or get his
Before he heads out, he just leans over, lets him know. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. Remember, we have sparred together, and I am metal. He is only flesh. Break him.
Break him, huh? Is that
Break
right?
him.
Nope, that's the minimum goal, huh? Break him. Got it.
Sting like a sword, float like a cloak.
Little satyr, if you die, you die. And so the bull kind of drops his head and gets ready to box with you. So the way the boxing works is a little differently. How many hit points do you have?
Not enough. 20.
Okay. It won't go fully on hit points. So the way, let me pull up lost my notes for a second. So many things going on here. So you will be fighting unarmed, considered unarmed striking, but because of the weighted gloves, those will count as D4 plus strength weapons. You will roll for initiative, and whoever gets higher on initiative, the first round winner will basically, for the first strike only, be able to add. You'll be able to add your initiative bonus to the damage for that first round. A nat 20 is a knockdown, and then they'll have to make a con save to see if they get up. But other than that, rounds will go back and forth until one of you goes down on hit points or goes down on nat 20.
Yeah, how hard is it to have done what Pythias recommended?
Is to do what Pythias recommended? What was that?
Cast Mage Armor
Mage
on myself.
You can do it. You just have to make a... That's going to be like, I imagine like it's an Arcana check to see if no one sees. So I'm rolling to see if... all right, so I know what the... So you're looking... or you can do sleight of hand. I'll allow either one. But I imagine like...
Yeah, let me go sleight of hand. That's a little better for me. Oh, God.
Oh, actually, also you will be going against each other's. Well, it might not. I'll find a way for it to help you, but you'll actually be making like athletics checks against each other instead of against each other's AC.
That's exactly what I needed. Yes, athletics. Okay. I rolled a 17 sleight of hand.
Okay. You seem to be fine. And so that armored class is going to, that mage armor, even though it's for defense, is going to give you a +2 to your athletics rolls.
That's helpful because my athletics is garbage. Let's do this. All
right. So, let's see. Yeah, and so as you guys kind of, all right, are you ready? And you hear like a ding, ding, ding that rings out all around you as the first. Actually, roll for initiative first. So he rolled a
22.
You rolled a 12. So you like on speed as he says, "Are you ready?" And you hear the ding. You like you're in there. So that you will add actually throughout the sake of all of this, you will add your initiative as well to all of your checks. That's what I'm gonna do.
So like the +3, not the 22.
Yeah, so you now have a plus. So you now have the +3 plus the mage armor, right? So you had a +5, right, on your.
Yep. Good.
That
helps get rid of the -1 on my strength.
So he rolls. So you both roll off because we're just gonna do this like round for round, like it's like a Rocky bout, right? Like you guys just start slugging. He starts swinging. What's your first roll on athletics?
I get a +4.
Yeah,
that's the +4. That's a 19.
You beat him. You beat him by a bunch. So your first blow, like it's almost like when the ding goes off. What does a little satyr look? I mean, what is your fight? Like, are you leaping all over the place? Like, what are you? Where are you landing?
I'm definitely trying to duck, and I don't know like what the rules are. Is there below the belt? Because if not, I'm leaping.
There's no below the belt because it's not the pancration, so it's just it's a chest and head.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in the blind spot. If he punches, I'm just ducking under and trying to get him to the side every time. I'm trying to dip back out before he can see me again.
All right, give me a D4 plus strength roll for your damage. And actually, to speed things up, I'm gonna just for the sake of the games, I'm gonna double it. So it's gonna be 2d4 plus strength for both his and yours. This isn't to the death, so it's to who's knocked out.
2d4 -1. Got it. Okay.
2d4.
That is a 4 minus 1 is a 3.
All right, so he takes 3. So you rock him a couple quick punches, and he's like, "Haha, that's not enough. Let's go again, little one. You're fast." And your next roll.
+4 is a 22.
So 22. All right, you beat him yet again. Go ahead and dish out more damage.
3, 6, so 5.
5. All right. He takes it, boom, boom, boom. Like, so you're like hitting him some more, like right in the abs, just kind of like swinging there, almost below the belt, but not there. He rocks. He's sweating. Third round, it's not really rounds, just going at it. What you got?
Much lower. 19.
19. Jeez, I mean, Roland, you still beat him. So you're like, now what's the crowd going? Because right now you guys are watching like Little Moon like wreck this guy. Is Fitz giving anything from the crowd? Like, is she using any bardic stuff or no magic from the?
I mean, I was gonna use some bardic inspiration, but everyone's doing really good.
Another 3 damage. It doesn't. He only needs to hit me once. Just for my life.
Yeah, you're just picking away at this guy. You're picking away at this guy. Next round. Oh my God, he's rolling so terribly. So he's rolling so low that if you double beat this guy, I'm gonna probably like triple the damage. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna count this as you're gonna double your damage. Double your. So you get 2 d4s. Roll 4 d4s for this one because I'm just rolling like 5s. I'm literally rolling 5s and 4s right now.
4, but 5. Okay, let's try again. Now my hand's sweating because I'm nervous, so I can't pick up the d4 anymore. Okay, that was max. So 5 + 8, 13, minus 1 is 12.
All right, so you got him on the ropes. This could be the last check for you and him. You frustrate me, little one. And he just
probably getting overconfident.
So he gets frustrated and he drops and he starts to rush towards you. It's technically illegal, but he's rushing towards you with his bullhorns out, and that's gonna give him advantage.
Illegal! Where's your Ross when you need one?
23.
Oh my gosh. So he rushes like completely frustrated, and how do you move past him and hit him, or what do you do?
I sidestep him and hit him with that short uppercut.
Boom!
Oh,
and so as you slide through and smack him one, his hand goes back. He runs out of the ring, like out of the circle and he staggers, and one of the referees looks and goes, disqualified! And he just goes, what? And you see him run over and grab the human referee and pick him up and just punch him, and the guy goes flying into the crowd.
Before
he doesn't punch Tel Moon, he punches the ref.
Okay.
Oh, do you want to stop him from punching the ref?
I was gonna cast sleep on him as he's like charging back forward.
Okay, go ahead. You can use the spell. Yeah, go for it.
Please work. Make it look like Telmoon knocked him out.
So how many that's
like
5
a delayed knockout.
Okay, so that is 26. Does he have below 26 health?
He does. And so
he falls asleep.
He grabs the guy and he's like, what? You disqualified me. And he just collapses over and falls on the guy and the guy's like, get this guy off of me, help. And like some of the refs run over their togas and try to like pull him from under. We are down to the last 2 of the games as we kind of camera pans over very quickly and pushes in on a section of the games where it's the Pancratium, and it's just on an all, no holds barred here. This is gonna work. I'm gonna treat it a lot like the wrestling match, and in the wrestling match, you will roll initiative. Highest roll will again add your dex mods to all of your rolls, and based on the moves you'll do, you can choose either athletics-based checks or acrobatics-based checks against your opponent. And but what's different about the boxing is every time whoever fails, the minute you fail, you will make a con save that to try to beat whatever the winner rolled in the number. And if you fail, then you just roll like damage as though you can roll double damage off of whatever your main attack is. That's how we'll do it based on that. And then pretty much whoever drops to 0 first That's it. So
So what is considered cheating?
So pretty much in the games, there should be no magic use, of course. In the Pancratium, you could use hands, feet, you can eye gouge. It's pretty much ruthless. It's also, you go in there where, depending on how, even though you're going for a knockout blow, the knockout blow could be dangerous, right? Like you could risk losing a character in that.
So what if it's an ability that's flavored as inborn as a anvil rot?
It probably they let you in, and so they're kind of watching. I imagine that this whole time they've been looking but they can't tell. You still look like a minotaur. You still kind of pass. And so I think
probably don't want to.
It depends on what it. I think for me, just as a DM, it depends on what it looks like when you do it. If I can't see it, it's probably fine.
It's really obvious.
Yeah, that's where it's gonna become really obvious, I think.
Okay.
But if it's gonna make it for a fun, I don't want to stop you and say not to do it if it's gonna make for a cool moment. But it could get you disqualified. Maybe there's a check. I don't know.
I won't worry about it.
All
right. Initiative first.
Yes.
Who am I
Who
facing?
are you fighting? I know, right? So for you are fighting. Notes here. Keep juggling so many things for the wrestling. It will be. So actually, you're facing a huge human, kind of olive-skinned fellow with long curly hair down his back, a pretty square jaw, no hair on the face, kind of a gold band around in gold gauntlets, very like Herculean almost. And he doesn't say a word, just comes out, wipes, pushes his hair back, hands go out, ready to go. All right, and we're coming down to the final things before we have the chariot race. This is the Pancratium. These two are up for it. The Gregorio and Taroxes. And we'll roll off for initiative. Give me 1 second.
Mine's 11.
All right. These rolls. Man, you guys are killing me on rolls tonight. That is not going to do it. So you beat him on the initiative roll. And so go ahead and make your first. So what do you go for? Like, what's your first move? Like, what are you trying to pull off?
If I have initiative before he can even make a move, I'll use my Goring Rush.
Yep. It's going to happen at the same time, but remember, you're adding the initiative. So it kind of is like it's happening at the same time, but you do have the advantage.
So since it's Pancratium, I can use my horns.
You can.
Okay. So that's do I roll to hit and then roll damage, or just?
So you guys are both doing so first off, roll first. So he rolled 2, and then we're going to compare the athletic checks against each other. So you're using your horns, but you're really using your athletics. Yeah. You can argue if there's you're not really using your moves. It's we're
the checks.
treating it more like a checks. Yeah.
That's a 15.
All right. So as you rush in to gore him, he kind of grabs you by the horns and twists your neck around and kind of locks your neck over the back and drops you, kind of like boom, stone colds your neck against the ground, and you collapse over.
I didn't add my initiative to that. That was a 15 without initiative, so it's a 17.
He still beat you, but he got a 22. So you went down. You kind of like roll over. Damage wise, he will do. I need to pull up. So you will take. Oh, so actually, now you're supposed to give me a con save against his 22.
And am I adding initiative to everything, or just?
Actually, just your attacks. Just so this is just going to be a regular.
Yeah. So this is 13.
Okay. So you do not beat there. So he will give you the. So when you fail, then the damage is just like double. So it's going to be 4d6 plus 5. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 20.
Oh, ow.
So yeah, you're like your
Ow.
neck strain. You can't. This dude is strong, and then as he's standing up, you see like a glimmer on him, and you might not know what, but you can tell that like this guy's kind of touched by the gods. You know, like he's got some divineness going on. He's like, yeah, that's it. Stay down, and then he kind of goes to rush in to try to grab you and lock up. Let's roll off. So actually, because you took the damage, another initiative check to see who gets the initiative this next time around. He's gonna probably fail that on initiative. What'd you get?
That's 15.
You got him on initiative. Another athletics check.
Alrighty, come on. Come on, man. That's 15.
He got a nat 20, so it's a
Bruh.
25. So he grabs you, and he like picks you up, and he's like, look, yeah. And then the lady sitting next to Fitz is like, he's not doing too well. And then he starts twirling him around. He throws you on the ground. Constitution save. You got to beat that. You got to beat that 20. If you can beat the, I know it's a 25. If you can get a nat 20, then that will count as a beating it. But you got to beat that 25. Jeez.
That's close. Nikki, throw me inspiration.
It has to be before you roll.
Dang it.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I was about to, and then you rolled.
I'll allow her to give it to you.
Okay. So she's after the lady leaned over and talked to me, and she's gonna go, oh gosh, Teroxes, come on, we've got this giant logo, we got these matching outfits, you gotta kick some ass, and she's gonna do like finger guns, and that's how she's gonna inspire him.
All right.
That's a D6.
All right. What's the total?
Yeah, it's a D6.
Oh, thank you. That makes it a 24.
24. Wow. Okay, and I said it. So you still take the damage, but just the regular damage on the con.
Oh,
so,
I'm still gonna get stomped this round.
So it's just 2d6. So 11.
That's it.
That's it. So as he like throws you to the ground, there's a moment where like Teroxes kind of like leans up, and you're like kind of getting up, and then you hear like, and he kind of like lies down, and the guy just kind of puts his foot on his chest and goes, yeah, yeah, and then he kind of steps off of you, and then he puts his hand down to pull you up.
As he does, Teroxes grabs his hand, accepts the help, and then as soon as he gets up, he lobs at his face.
Oh my god!
Just swing.
Advantage. It's an advantage attack. I don't see the guy. He counts as, so his AC is a 18.
First shot's a dirty 20.
Ooh. So just wham, just smashes him dead in the face. Give me your full blown damage.
That's just a flat 4.
And so he suddenly he goes, I tried to give you my friendship, and you just start fighting, and like you see the referees running in, people running over. Apple, what are you guys doing? As like there's like a brawl going out on the field between, and Teroxes is like throwing like refs and like.
Nexus is just roaring, going. Oh.
Proximus, have you ever seen your friend do that before? Never mind.
Yeah,
So
we're
they-
fully in there.
So suddenly these Lagonis centaurs run out, and they all start lassoing Teroxes from all different sides, and he's being pulled, and like these chains start whipping around him, and then they slowly like subjugate him and walk him.
As they are, Teroxes starts to change.
Oh my gosh! All right.
It's almost like he's transforming as the plates of his body shift and previously unseen gears start to turn as the plates of armor that make up his skin extend. His legs grow almost 2 feet taller, and he grows a foot wider as his giant's might activates, and he becomes large
somewhere in the back there's like a human, one of the like referees. He's like on the other side of the field, and he says, "See, I knew they shouldn't have let him in here." Like he's like talking to one of the other guys while it's happening. So as this happens, what does it do, Taroxys? What are you trying to do here?
He's just resisting their pull. If he's smaller than large, he becomes a large-sized creature. So he's gone
Got
from
it.
medium to large. Advantage on strength checks and saving throws, and he has an attack.
You're gonna make a 1 strength check against all of them. I'm gonna do like basic centaur, so they're gonna get advantage too since there's multiple, but you get advantage because you're strength, and whoever beats this is what happens in this outcome. They got a 15.
I got a 21.
Jeez. So how do you throw
Snapping
them?
ropes, just snapping ropes, throwing them around, and after he's done with that, like after they're all sprawled out, he'll just walk off.
And then like as it's kind of quiet and like hushed, and some of the like refs are looking at him kind of like shaking their heads, but then as you kind of get to where you can, I get a performance check from you, Taroxys?
Yeah, I guess that's a 9.
A 9. So it doesn't go up in a roar, but as you're walking off, you can hear the people in the crowd who are like, yeah, like badass. Like there's, you definitely have fans who like that you were disruptive and you were just kind of like all against it. And so while you don't make it into that first Pancration, you can still, would he have gone with boxing or wrestling?
Oh yeah, I had them both listed as well.
You had them both listed.
Yeah,
all right.
I had them all in my
against.
original.
So we kind of montage it as you're fighting in these other two. Give me 2 more strength rolls.
This is the one skill I'm good at, but the dice won't let me
The
win.
dice won't let you
As a
win.
13 and a 10, I have +5s.
You eked out the boxing, so you and Telmoon will go to the games for boxing.
One Minotaur wasn't enough. You can put a metal one at me now.
So would Apodexis then have to wrestle Taroxys?
Wait, because you went in. Have you done? I haven't even done your rest. Did we do? No,
We just went straight to Pancration for me.
Okay.
The Talmud would be casting mending on Taroxys to try to make him pretty again. In case there's some dents or some scuffs on him. Just go around by casting mending.
Oh yeah, because I made him go through the roll for wrestling. So actually, I just need a roll from you, Apodexis, and if you beat a 13, you beat his wrestling.
So athletics or acrobatics, which
for you it would be athletics.
13's not hard. You got this.
16.
Yep.
16. You beat it.
Although, was I applying my advantage from still being large, or did they make me get smaller to actually compete?
Oh no.
You mean in that roll against? Oh, in the roll. Yeah, you had to go back to small for your wrestling roll. Absolutely. So I don't want to, since we're running on time, I don't want to cheat Apodexis, but Apodexis, I'm going to move you into the wrestling, and you're going to get some more areas to shine in the next episode going into your wrestling event. But let's assume that basically beating Taroxys gets you into the wrestling, the actual games. So let me put you in, and then, all right, and then
And Talmud have taken a fall and let Taroxys get into boxing instead. This seems wrong.
You hurt his hoof.
Dude, I don't know what's up with these dice. It's like immediately once Taroxys got on, Malcolm's dice were like, all right, time to go.
We had all this stuff for the Bronze Bull and all these things, and it's like only the Bronze Bull can't get in.
On like none of my best skills. Like when the fighter can't do athletics, the game is over.
Yeah. So, watching Apodexis, like, work through the couple of opponents you had, and then I think Apodexis, what would you beating out Taroxys have looked like? What would that end of that match look like?
It would have ended with him like somehow managing to like get him from behind, like holding him back by the arms and just pulling as hard as he could, and then quick spin so he's face down, and hoping he can hold on and keep him pinned until they can make that count.
Nice.
Hold on for 8 seconds.
And you were able to hold that count and pin him down. And so Troxy's having a bad day. He's probably really frustrated. He's excited about these games, and so far, like, he's not having it the way he wants. The day is kind of coming to a close, and they've had so much going on. They've just gotten around to the races. I want to know where, as we're all getting prepared for the final for the chariot races, they've finally cleared the field and put the dust down and brought the horses out. What is kind of going on in the back, like in the stalls before they open the gates? Maybe what's going on between Zen and Proxinos?
Proxinos is over on the edge of the railing of the chariot, fallen asleep.
So you realize that you're going to be doing all this yourself, Zen, as
Yeah, I figured. So Zen is going to. Normally there are reins for the horses, but since I am not a horse that needs those,
Yeah, no.
We're
They just
going
have to strap you to his chariot. That's all he needs. Yeah.
I'm going to tie him
I was gonna say, I'm like, we can go and do that if you need us to.
to the chariot. He's not leaving the bucket. That's my goal to tying him up.
Nice. And so I imagine you kind of start strutting out, and as you come walking out, the people are kind of cheering, and the racers are lining up, and these are just to compete so that you can best times will be entered into the actual chariot races. And as you kind of pull up to the starting line, people are kind of waving. Oh, well, look at that, the horse and the rider. Which one is running who? And Proxinos, I imagine you're like slowly like you're kind of like come out, kind of moving like this, kind of waking up every now and then. Anything else that's happening as I set this up? We are.
Then just like, man, I really hope those knots really hold. I don't want him falling out of that.
Oh, Arya, it's happy for far.
You always do this asleep? Now he's kind of concerned. Shit.
By this point, I've made it up to the stands where
Yeah.
Fitz is, and I guess like the others.
I imagine
some
everyone.
popcorn.
Yeah, what's it look like as all of you are in the stands? Have all found a spot next to Fitz in the stands.
Oh my gosh, guys, come over here!
Oh yeah.
My foam fingers.
Is there anything that you're going to try to? Are you going to try to intervene at all in this race for yourself, Fitz? Or is that not as a point of right now? Are you going to leave things to play out?
Yeah, I was thinking to save it for a big dramatic moment if a certain stupid little brother showed up.
And right on cue, white chariot, gold lined,
right.
white horses, two white horses.
Oh gosh.
Outrides Medios. He smiles to the crowd.
Archidexis,
The people
like,
start to
roars on his section, and he just points at him like straight up like Mr. T from
Come on, sucker.
Based on where you guys are at, he probably can't see you exactly, but so he's just kind of taking in the people. He rides
Crush
up.
him! Crush him in his stupid face! And that stupid hair! Oh my god, you got
Brother,
kick his butt!
you
Can I
might want
cast
to be awake for this.
Let's see ya, brother. And Proxenos is going to take 1 level of exhaustion.
Yes.
Oh man.
How I love thee, but he kind of looks over at you and goes, "Wake up!" He kind of reaches out, kind of slaps you on the face, like a very light slap. I want you to be awake to witness this. You walked away from our challenge when we were kids. You don't sleep through this. Don't sleep through my victory. I deserve this. Give me my roses. Huh? Fair. Anything there, Proximus?
Proxenos, he says back, you misunderstand about that, brother. It's not that I did not want to fight you. It's that I did not want to hurt you. But maybe I made a mistake then.
You didn't want to hurt me. You didn't want... Well, let's see who hurts who in the long run, shall we? And all right, and we are about to... and as you hear, you're waiting for the... It goes off. Proxinos, Zen, can I get a athletics check from you?
Okay.
And Proxinos, how are you? Is there any way? What would you think you might participate in this race? What would you be doing? How are you? What would you do as it kind of as it cracks off?
So, even though Proxenos doesn't have any reins, it's mostly Zen. He is trying to shift his weight to help the carts
Yep.
move forward. And he is in exhaustion right now because he's pushing past the 6-hour mark.
Yeah, and so while he's trying to help, I know he would be at disadvantage, but Zen would be kind of carrying that weight. Zen, what did you get?
Athletics, I got a 30-20.
Okay. All right. So with that dirty 20, you slow motion start to take off, and as you are kind of neck and neck, and all of the horses start to neigh and go into the fight, dirt starts to kick up. The chariots are launching. Proxinos is kind of leaning his weight in, but Proxinos, can I get a help? Can I get a athletics check, but at disadvantage since you're exhausted?
Okay. As a 10.
Okay. So that 10, with you, Zen, you're starting to pull ahead, and you feel this vigor as those white horses are like right there with you. And then suddenly, as he's looking, Proxinos is like half asleep, but Medios will not break eye contact. His chariot starts to close in, and the wheels start to, like, there's the first time they hit each other, and then you can feel the wheels starting to buckle, and the horses ahead of you are just kind of neighing, and it's gonna be a brutal one as you both are you can hear those horses kind of breathing down on you, Zen, and Proxinos, as you're trying to kind of stay in the fight, as your brother is essentially trying to take you out of this race and every other race from here on out. Not necessarily to death, but he definitely does not want to lose this. And we kind of push in on his face, kind of crash the lines. Proxinos, Medios, crash to black in today's episode. Thanks for playing. Good game. Good stuff. That was fun.
This race.
I'm
Ooh.
about to fuck your brother up, dude.
Yeah.
Could be a good way to start next game.
Yeah.
We're just gonna wait for them at the end.
I'm about to
Finish
cast.
line.
About to cast
I just
darkness
can't wait
on
for
that
Zen to
dude's
start hitting
chariot.
them horses with some stunning strikes.
We'll just take him out once y'all get there. Start throwing stuff out of the stands.
Oh man.
Oh, good game. That was fun. I like the
That was
games
great.
were
That's
a lot of
awesome.
fun.
The memes on Discord are killing me.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to like check them all out when we get off.
The
Like,
far as I
Just-
can see.
Telling the story through GIFs is the most elegant form of art there is.
When you're not in the game and you get a notification, you go, all right, something's
What
going
does this
down.
even mean?
Oh, yeah.
Right. You know, what's happening?
Yeah.
oh man,
Oh.
that's cool. As long as they don't
Great.
distract you guys, yeah, that's great. I
It's gonna be a fun campaign.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
fun.
Definitely.
Very fun.
So hopefully, you guys definitely different feel from Curse of Strahd. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A little.
Just
A
a
little,
bit.
just a bit. Yeah.
Still have to make some tough moral decisions.
Oh no, yeah, there will be plenty of those. Don't get me wrong. They will come down to some of those moments.
It's probably
For
doomed that
sure.
poor boy to die.
Man.
Oh,
Man, I wanted Zen to be like,
No.
"Can you just go help him?" But he doesn't know shit.
yeah, I thought about that too.
Glory.
I thought about. I was like, they might leave. I was like, knowing this group with Taroxys, he might just go, "Let's go to the post," and like, let's just go help him now. I thought that was gonna be an option that came up. I was like,
We were gonna miss the tryouts.
yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
but I was
Not
like, he doesn't
that
really
it
want
mattered.
But I mean, like, you could have got glory from saving an outpost.
I only rolled high when in that was
Yeah,
like the one
just
time
my
this
events.
entire game like I rolled high. It was just fighting Taroxys.
And I
Oh,
couldn't
man.
get above a 15 to save.
It
With a
was-
+5, I consistently rolled below average.
It was crazy.
Yeah, if I go down, it goes 11, 15, 6. I'd get initiative, but not do anything with it.
Oh my
Well,
god.
I mean, we could still go do it. We know where the outpost is.
Yeah, but there are the games still, so.
I'm saying after the games, if he survives that long.
Yeah,
Oh, the
Well,
games are
Still
much
alive.
games are much later, aren't they?
Yeah, this
Still
is
like
a
months
tryout.
away, right?
These gifs are so ridiculous. I'm just going through them now. Finally. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's literally 11, 11, a 15, 13, 15, 13.
Those
And then-
dice on D&D Beyond, I tell you.
And then the one con save I
terrible.
passed was still death.
Yeah.
Like I passed one check and lost.
Yeah, there's a
And
bit of a difference to the damage I was dealing out and the damage that guy did.
Yeah.
I was like 3, he's like 20.
Did
I'm
you
like,
with the
oh.
little like in the fans with the
Yeah.
little leather pointers? So funny. You can do
That's
it.
how I picture her.
Y'all hit me
Oh,
with the
man.
double Drogo, man. What's going on? Y'all really want me
Yeah.
to die out there in that race?
Oh, these are great. Oh, so good.
Funny thing is, Mal, I don't know if you were looking at it, but you hit me with the if he dies as soon as Eric posted it.
Right.
Oh,
that
really?
was-
I didn't even
that-
even
that
know
timing,
that he
timing
posted.
was.
That was
Me and
perfect.
Eric are always on that wavelength. Like,
same wavelength. Yeah.
like it's so like we're so 80s. It's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
like,
We're like
Right,
we're like
Rod.
Uncle Rico and
Yeah.
Napoleon Dynamite. Buy the time machine. Go back in time.
Okay, man.
oh,
Malcolm,
man.
you nailed the brother. God.
Did I?
So
Hopefully, I
good.
did you proud. Like I was the
What the first word that came to my mind after like 5 words out of your mouth? Weasel.
yeah.
That was the word. Like I was like, you nailed it. Yeah.
I was
Gotta
like, I'm
take
gonna
this
make it.
dude out.
Stomp
We're
him
doing
so
our best
badly.
not to just leave him broken in an alley somewhere. We're gonna try to make this
My-
like keeping his family.
My inspiration for the brother is like one part, like probably like 2 parts. 2 parts, like almost every anime villain that I love,
Mhm.
like, you know, and combined, and then with a sprinkle of Commodus from Gladiator. You know,
And
that's
then-
am I
yeah.
not merciful? Like, he's that guy. He's Commodus.
Commodus was in there with the gifts.
I posted him. Yeah.
I got big King Joffrey vibes too. Like
Yes,
he's
yes.
Yes.
The armor made me just think immediately of Commodus. I was just like, oh, fucking
I-
pure white. Oh, you.
So I actually played a King Joffrey character in Mordborg, and I'm a complete
Yes.
asshole
Oh.
to the
I wanted
point.
to
Yes,
strangle
he
him.
is.
So much fun. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I even wrote on there, Malcolm, under the Commodus gif, I said, he reminds me of this guy. Or
Yes.
something like that was the, yeah. But that's
Like, I
that
keep
smug
Joffrey
picture
in my
behind you.
background. I
Oh,
keep-
yeah.
And I tell the party constantly that like they constantly work for me, and I'm constantly tell everybody that they work for me and they need to do stuff for me, and it's ridiculous. It's hard to keep doing that too, because you feel like, when is it the point where the players are gonna break and be like, I hate you, stop, like, you know?
The players are going to turn around and stab you.
Then I went 1v1 with the bad guy, the bad that should have killed us all, and murdered him with like, it's stupid. Like, Morkborg is so broken. I'm playing this class called a wretched royalty. So I'm useless, but I have a dagger that has a little bit of poison on it. And when you stab somebody with it, you roll a d4, and if you roll a 4, they take 4 damage. But if you roll a 1, they die. What sense does that make? But that's how the rules work. If you roll a 1, they die. They just die. And so I killed like Henry's big like 30 hit point creature, and it was just like, I felt so bad. I was like, DM, you can rule this however you want. But he was like, no, what's the rule? It says he dies. It says I rolled a 1. It says he's dead. You know.
That would have been a long battle, though.
It was
had we
gonna be a
done that.
long
Like,
fight.
And we were just all like, wait, you just killed it? All right, let's move on to the next thing.
It started like a
yeah.
traditional D&D. Like, we went to a tavern, we met a guy, he drugged us. We
Yeah,
woke up in this event where the nobles pay, and they nailed our weapons to
horrible.
our hands, and we went through the whole event with weapons.
I watched that one. That one. I was
With-
eating.
And I think it was with the nails that I bought, right?
Yes, with the nails that you
Ooh.
bought.
Yeah,
When is
Henry
the
goes,
next- when is the
he's
next
like, you recognize these nails? They're the nails you bought. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
You're
When is
so-
that next
That's
game,
so
by the way?
fucked.
Next Thursday.
29th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or no, or is it the 20? It's 20. Oh yeah, he moved it. So 29th.
Yeah, he
so
moved
it's the
it.
week after. Yeah. Oh man, I can't. Yeah, that's gonna be fun to.
It's those same characters?
Yeah, it's the 1st
Mhm.
sequel to Morkborg that we
Cuts.
really have same characters.
That is
So
one
in
disgusting
Morkborg-
ass character.
And Cyrus.
Yeah.
So you have to be really careful what you buy. Because I know in the one game I played, Malcolm, your character bought a pound of lard. And it was like, oh, I could just buy food. Why did I buy this lard?
Why did I buy this lard? Why am I eating lard? Like, the game is so ridiculous. But
Yeah. But
it was
your
the
character's the
first.
best, though.
It was definitely a Morkborg game where I felt vindicated. Like, we did something at the end. Like, okay, we're like on to something here. I think that's why Henry was like, we got to like make this a part 2.
Yeah, we
'Cause
do.
But it was interesting. It's fun. But
It was a blast, guys, but I have
Yeah.
to go.
get some real sleep, man. Like later.
It's
Nick.
tiring to pretend that you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Funny enough.
Dude, I was ready to yawn so many times. Every time you were doing that,
I
I'm like,
did.
stop.
Yeah,
Like,
I did.
Oh my god, your yawns are contagious. Yeah, I was like,
I yawned so many times.
and
We're gonna
Eddie's gonna
wreck
give me
your
your
brother.
character. I'm waiting to. I'm seeing him this week. We couldn't meet up in the past couple weeks, but I'll have your. So when you sleep, I can put you splayed out.
Yeah, I still haven't sent him the standing one, so I'll have to
Okay.
send. Yeah.
Send him that one too, because I want to get them both at the same time. Hopefully.
I'll send Eddie this week, too. Definitely.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, excited if you guys want to get your like actual minis on the board or whatever. Like, do it. It'd be
Also, really like Asteros.
Yeah.
Good to be here. Good to be
It's
here.
fun.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. Yeah. Some good stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely seems like the intellectual character that we needed, maybe a guiding light
Or
to
is
our
he?
mostly 8 intelligence party.
I
All right,
I wonder
guys.
if you guys, once you guys get later. Now that you guys are going into the games, I wonder. So now the real games will start like probably within a week. So I wonder if are you guys going to just stick around the city and like run that clock down to go to the games, or do they going to try to do anything in between that? This should be interesting to see. If not,
I
we'll
know
jump directly.
Fitz wants to buy some armor, so she's not so super squishy.
Are you not wearing any armor right now?
I think I have like light armor.
Leather?
That's what
Light
I'm
leather?
proficient in, is like light leather armor. But maybe
Okay.
like I could get a
Instead of
shield
leather.
or something.
Are you proficient in shields?
Are you proficient in shield? Yeah.
Am I not allowed to have one if I'm not proficient?
If you're a bard, you're not proficient in shield. You're not going to be able to rock one.
Shoot,
Unless
I
you're a
can only
valor
have light
bard.
armor.
Yeah,
I
Valor
mean,
Bard.
if you take off your armor and come stand next to me, I can give you a higher AC.
That's so sad.
You just rock your T-shirt throughout the whole like campaign. It's
Or do you not have mage armor as a bard?
That's pretty
Not that I
vital.
know of.
Because they'll give you +3 to your AC instead of what's your dex?
It's +2.
Oh, never mind. It's the same +3 as leather armor plus.
Yeah,
Alrighty, I'm
rough.
headed out
It's
for
rough
the night
being
as
a little
well.
squishy.
Josh, great game, man.
Take care,
Sorry
Josh.
to
Alright, Josh.
took an L there. I was like,
It happens.
everybody, but we'll get him in the next one. We'll get him on the next
I'll
one.
vindicate him.
Good night.
Good
Night,
night.
friend.
Man.
Yeah, something the same way. My
Yeah, there were
AC
so
would be
many
a
games.
13.
I'm sorry, Apodexus too. I wanted you to get I wanted everybody
I
kind of
know.
get their moment. It was like I was like, we could do this for the next. We could do these games for the next hour.
I mean, we all did finish 1, 2, 3 in the 100-meter dash.
So yeah, at least you got a couple races in there. Everybody got their game, so it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not sad that I did not qualify for javelin. Just like got in the event that I thought I would. It
Yeah.
was pretty close. I was like, oh, I'm gonna fail at swimming.
Well,
I
now you
specifically
did not
pulled up-
set up like acrobatics type games, bro. Like that's the only thing I can do. All this athletic stuff, dude.
It's a lot, yeah. I mean, because when I started like studying, like I was like, all these games, like they seem very much they're strength based, like Olympic games, and like the running, of course, there's a lot of acrobatics there, like the long jump, but it's a lot of combination between those two. And then I had a couple of checks if they went the distance that they would go into, like that one check where they would pretty much after you went through the first three, you would go into like wisdom and intelligence
On save, I
but
was
no one
like,
ever really
oh.
got to those, like it's like if you tied enough, then you'd go into those types of checks, because then I imagine it comes down to the fortitude of the two people that are competing. But yeah, I just wanted them to be fun. I didn't want to like have like round on round on round of punch a person,
Sure.
take 3 damage, 4 damage, 8 damage,
You should have rolled better, because Telmoon shouldn't have to punch somebody to death with his -1 strength.
Man, you work. I mean, that dude, I rolled so bad. I just imagine every time he was swinging, you were just like hopping around, like, like, it was like punch out.
Exactly, that's what I was gonna say. He was Little Mac.
Lucas.
He was literally Little Mac, just like pop, pop. Oh god.
So, yeah, it was good. It was good. It was fun seeing everybody kind of play through those moments. It was fun having that kind of combat that wasn't combat. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it was a pretty balanced game. Like we had the action, we had the shopping.
Yeah, you guys
there was creation of stuff. There was the philosophical.
Yeah,
Dude.
like the conversation with the.
It's like Aristotle, Plato just dumped on us or something. It was like, yeah.
And that's going to be another big part of this game. There's going to be a lot of those like questions and like philosophical dilemmas that the party will have to face. Because I think that's just kind of a part of like the Greek, Odysseys and
Yeah.
stories. It's like,
Not gonna lie, my boy Josh came out real philosophical for what I assume is probably not the highest intelligence character.
I know. I was
love
like, he was saying all this stuff, and I was like, dude, like, where'd this
Alright.
stupid
I'm
stuff
around,
come
I'm
from?
like, this nigga can read? What? He read a book once? What happened?
I'm right there with him. I'm not very smart. This character.
I was thinking about it too. I was like,
he's more.
That's the thing. That's the thing about funny, like, you can't like ever get away from yourself. Like when you try to play
Yeah.
like not
No.
smart characters, it doesn't work long term.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It is hard.
How do you play a character with a intelligence of 20?
Yeah.
Like,
It's hard trying to be someone smarter than you.
Yeah. That's a little.
That's the harder direction. Like,
Yeah.
it's easier to bite your tongue, but you can't
Yeah.
really play smarter than yourself.
yeah.
I heard Josh. I was getting some stuff set up, but I heard Josh saying that in one of the games, he's trying to create another uprising.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
man, that is
boy.
Josh's thing. He's gonna try to break the game with the uprising.
He's gonna get us all
Oh,
killed.
you
as
guys
soon as we
want
do.
Troy for sure went in there as a prisoner, gathered all the town folk into the bar, and was like, "It's fine. Choose your own masters.
Don't
throw
do
off
it.
And then we
Here we go.
left.
Y'all remember how that
And
went
then
in
we
Romy,
leave.
right?
And we show back up, and they're hiding in a ravine, all beat up. One
Oh.
dude cut in the stomach. We're like, "What happened?" It's like, "Oh, we tried your uprising, and we died. Good job, Troy."
Oh
Hey,
man.
man. They chose to do it. I didn't do it. I was just like, do what y'all want.
You
Just
riled
saying.
them up, and then didn't
Just
stay to
saying,
help.
the mayor's a dick. Okay.
I was all for killing him ourselves and taking the money, but y'all was just like, "No, let's just let the people decide, rile them up, and walk off."
Sometimes I don't know what's worse, listening to that game or playing Morkborg.
Yeah, like that game is ruthless. It's like that is Morgborg. That's the 5e Morgborg sometimes.
Sometimes it is.
I listen to both in horror.
I know.
yeah.
We'll never get
Richard.
We'll never get Nikki on the horror
Good stuff.
bandwagon, right? Like,
No,
Play
I will
Alien
be
one
Fitz
time,
in the
Nikki, it'll be a
stand.
good time.
Not even in October. You gotta do like one game. October.
Maybe in
Maybe.
October I'll do a
Yeah.
spooky game.
yeah.
There you go.
I'm really curious. How did Everyone is John go?
We had to
it got
move it.
rescheduled.
They
Yeah,
said-
Oh,
I'm
So it'll be
excited
this
for that. I
Wednesday.
actually might play this week if I don't have a game
I'm so excited.
because I actually
I-
might.
You only
It's
do
really
every
cool.
other Wednesday now?
I do every other. Yeah, I started doing every other Wednesday for Storm King's Thunder. They're coming up on the end of that. They just fought like the Jarl, the big Viking storm giant king. And that was fun. That party is extremely strong. Like, and I get a little frustrated only because like when I try to throw the worst at them, they have a lot of good players, and I almost want to say they have a lot of Joshes where they take advantage. Like whenever I slip up a rule, they take full advantage of it, and then when that ruling doesn't work with them, they're like, damn, shouldn't this happen this way? I'm like, yeah, you're right. Okay, and so
All
they
you gotta
kind of
do is when they go against their big boss, let them kill them real easy, and then have the Strahd crew feathers come through.
We're still recording, by the way.
oh yeah.
Best idea.
Thank you.
Let's
You
just
can
put
cut
this
it off.
trash talk on there.
Trash
Yeah.
talk them. No, they
Those
did.
Storm King guys.
I usually
Josh's
don't mind it.
uprisings. No, I
I say whatever I say when I say it. They know it. Because this last game I was sitting back like, really? Okay, all right, that's fine. But yeah, they murdered this guy. They got him good. But yeah, I'll go ahead and stop recording.